I'm a skeptical robot.
ヒップホップの神といえば誰？シンガーでビッグなのは誰？エンタメの大黒柱は誰？ワールドカップに出てくるのは誰？グミグミグミグミグミグミグミヒップホップの神といえば誰？シンガーでビッグなのは誰？エンタメの大黒柱は誰？ワールドカップに出てくるのは誰？ヒップホップの神といえば誰？シンガーでビッグなのは誰？エンタメの大黒柱は誰？ワールドカップに出てくるのは誰？グミグミグミグミグミ
Hello, and welcome to Skeptical Robot. Thank you very much for being here. I am so glad that every one of you chose to be here on a Friday evening when you have such better things to do. Gonna jump right into it. Please welcome my co-host, Mr. CORNdiff. Hello, Mr. CORNdiff. How are you?
Lagoony, how are you, man? Glad to be.
I'm fantastic. I should have had applause and some air horns. Here we go.
I didn't deserve it. It's okay.
There we go. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am fabulous. We have got a really crazy show ready for our audience tonight. Let's see.
Highlighting
here.
vaginas.
And let's see here. Latin Vagina's got a lot of people in the chat tonight, more than normal. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. We got a couple of guests backstage too. Let's go ahead and bring everybody out. You guys know my other co-host, sneaky little cat, Mr. Gummi Chainsaw. What's up, Mr. Gummi Chainsaw?
Hey, what up, everybody? How's everyone doing today?
Everybody is probably more concerned about how you are doing, Mr. Gummi Chainsaw. How are you doing?
I'm here. So,
All right.
if I can wake up in the morning, I got no complaints.
Got a lot of questions throughout the week asking how you were doing. For those who don't know, Mr. Gummi Chainsaw is a little sick right now.
Yeah.
But he is a total trooper and is here to deliver because he loves the viewers.
Yes, I love you all. You guys are the highlight of my week. If anyone doesn't know what happened to me, pretty much in a nutshell, in a matter of 5 days, I got stung by a wasp, which I'm deathly allergic to, and I got bit by a tick and I have Lyme disease. So I'm healing up from both things at the same time.
Yeah. And
Overachieving much?
Yeah.
Yikes. That is crazy. It's been an eventful week for Gummi.
I'm sorry, real
but-
quick. I'm
Go
hearing
ahead.
an echo, but I think it's from like our side, from somebody on our side, on our end.
Ooh, I don't hear it.
Does anybody else hear that?
I don't.
I'm hearing like a slight echo.
I'm listening to the live feed. I don't hear it on the live feed.
Okay, shit, maybe it's me then. All right, give me a second.
Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, let me go ahead and bring out our guests for the evening. First of all, a regular here. You know him, you love him. Oh wait, shit! I didn't have his wonderful intro ready. Damn it! That's my fault. Sorry. Please welcome Mr. Sperg Snake. Hello, Mr. Sperg Snake. How are you tonight?
Excellent, man. Virtual me is so much cooler than actual me. I love it.
Don't you wish you had that music just follow you wherever you went, like to the grocery store or to get gas?
Kick open the well, the grocery store not so much because I got them stupid like parting doors. But anyway, like if I'm going to the phone store or something, like it has like a pool door and I could just kick it open and have that blaring at any time. That would be awesome. You're hopping on the bus or off the bus. Just let everybody know that I'm a presence to be reckoned with.
That would be amazing. Thank you for being here. You are filling in tonight. I don't normally ask people to give me so much of their time, but we had a guest cancel. And it's not totally what I should say, a ridiculous cancel. Chops was scheduled to be here tonight and then canceled and said, "It's my birthday and my family would like to spend time with me." And I said, "You
Boo.
pussy, boo."
Yeah, boo.
Everybody
It's
boo Chops.
Boo his mom. You could have popped him out on the 21st.
Boo. Real quick, I just saw this in the chat and I had to put it up here. It's from Stevie J. Cobes died so that corn may live. The harvest will be bountiful this year.
Thank you, Stevie.
That is great. Thank you for being here, Sperg Snake. You are always wonderful here. You are always welcome. You have a permanent spot and chair waiting for you anytime you want to be on here. I just don't like asking so much of your time.
That's all right, man. I'm happy to do it. Happy to be here.
Hey,
Here
you're
to have
always
fun,
great.
too.
Yes, and this is going to be a fun episode.
That's what we call fourth box. It's a Sperg chair.
Yes, that's it. It's a Sperg chair.
Awesome. Thank you.
And I think you're going to like this one too. But before we get started, we have another guest backstage. And let's go ahead and bring him out. Folks, please welcome our second guest, Mr. XCorp.
صوت عالي المايك يشعل البودكاست مسيطر كلام مزاح من الافكار مختلف ما في حد يفلت فوق السحاب كانه نسر طائر من كندا للعالم صوته دايم سامع صوت الحقيقه بالهواء اسئله بتقطع بالعداء فكر ذهبي ما ينطوى هذا البودكاست العقل مثل التواه كلامه موزون مثل ميزان الذهب افكاره تنطر كأن الغير مقترب يرمي الفكره وتتفجر قنبله بالهواء حتى الصمت معاه يحكي قصص والسراح حروفه الحان تتراقص بالنغم كل جمله لوحه الوانها بالعلم صوته مدفح بالمنطق ينغم ما يوقف ابدا يبقى بالقمم صوت الحقيقه بالهواء اسئله تقطع بالعداء فكر ذهبي ما ينطوى هذا البودكاست العقل مثل الدواه.
Welcome, XCorp. How are you this evening?
Stunned and amazed, it seems.
Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, you know what? I was like, hey, I wonder if they updated my my intro because now that they know me a little better. But wow,
Now,
Yeah, I ran it up. That's your contract.
for everyone in the chat, please know Gummi Chainsaw is the one behind these wonderful WWE style intros. And that one was a new one that we wanted to make sure got played for the audience.
And the song is just like how you're a podcaster from Canada in Farsi. That's pretty much what the lyrics are.
Catholic raised, different brown, but still dope. Shout out to Iran, I guess.
The only thing I can find, like in the that's quote unquote brown adjacent, was Iron Sheik's intro. So that's why you're waving the Iranian flag. I had to put
Makes sense.
everything else around it with the Iranida and all that.
Shout out to the Iron Sheik, legend.
I caught that. I was like, that's the classic intro. I've only seen Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov come out with their respective country flags back in the day. Like,
It's
creativity.
beautiful,
10.
isn't it? It's
10.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Before we get started here, Hamhead with the 10 Luigi Greenberg memberships. Thank you so much, Mr. Hamhead. Thank you. We appreciate it. Let's see. Let's give him something here. How about one of these? Thank you, Mr. Hamhead. We appreciate it so much. Before we get too far into this here, how much does everybody know about L. Ron Hubbard?
He's a good salesman.
I just remember the commercial Dianetics with the book with like the volcano, and that's all I know.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that
I
a
remember
lot.
that they actually made it. I was like, wow, they made a commercial for a book. That's something I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. I have actually been wanting to do an episode devoted to the whole history of L. Ron Hubbard because there is so much to it when you take the whole story chronologically. Very similar to the Amityville Horror. There is a lot going on there that builds up to the story of L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology. That's what he's, of course, most known for, is Scientology. But I really wanted XCorp to be on for this episode because XCorp is probably, I'm going to say, XCorp, you're probably the most conspiratorial person I know. And that's not to say that you believe every conspiracy, but you at least know a lot of the conspiracies and can discuss them and like the origin of them, that sort of thing. And I believe that there's a lot to this story that created the entire concept of conspiracy culture. And this one is, to tell the audience, it's not going to focus on L. Ron Hubbard entirely. This is a prologue to the story of L. Ron Hubbard that's going to actually focus on a couple of people that he knew in his life that influenced him, influenced his later accomplishments in Scientology, and also gave him the material that he stole to create Scientology. There's a lot here, and there's a lot of really weird directions it's going to go. So, anyway, tell me a little bit, XCorp, about what you think of NASA and space. We got time.
Well,
2,000 words or less.
yeah, in a tweet, it was invented during a space race by a group of people that were brought over that accelerated a different aeronautics space program.
Where was that? Where was that aeronautics space program?
It was in the Europe area, in the middle of Europe.
For those history aficionados out there, there was a war right around that time.
This was actually a big one. This was actually
it might have been the second biggest one.
It might have been the second.
And a bunch of those enemies got jobs in the United States.
Well, they were fantastic at what they did.
Efficient, right?
Let's just
Efficient, well-educated.
There are people that go to marketing school and they use the similar books that were that came out of this because of the amazing way that they were able to capture public perception.
Some people might say they had solutions.
They were
Is
so
that safe to
confident
say?
in their solution. They were like, "This is the final one."
Okay. Yes.
Snappy dressers. Also,
they were snappy dressers, weren't they?
Shout out to Adidas and Armani.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know Adidas. That should be like an interesting thing that we talk about. Adidas and
The two brothers that started it.
well, the other N words.
Norwegians.
That's it.
Oh no.
That was the European. I was dancing around that.
I'll say it. I'm not afraid.
The other N word that we're not allowed to say on YouTube.
0.6% Norwegian.
Oh, hey, Donna G, thank you for the 1999. I had to send a free chat. Couldn't figure out what to edit. Good night, boys. Have to catch a replay. I would love to know what it was that you couldn't say. Thank you for the 1999.
Love
Thank
you
you.
much.
All right. And how about you, Sperg? What do you know about the space race and NASA?
The old WW2 post-war baseball
It's weird
card
talking
trading.
in code. It feels like we're trying to say something like sexual in front of
The
children.
runners up. The
It's
runners
1984,
up.
man.
Yeah.
The runners
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Did not win, but
World War II
Came in second,
silver
close
medalist.
yeah.
It's so weird. It's like when you try to say something in front of kids, but you don't want to give it away. It's just like
Spell it out.
Yeah. So there were these people.
Well,
It's
but
weird. Yeah.
so like a lot of high-profile scientists and other academics in their fields, they were all like traded like baseball cards between us and Russia, like who's getting who, and you know, we pretty much divided up that whole leftover empire between us two.
It was a fantasy
I also wanted-
science draft.
Yeah,
And we
yeah,
fucked
it
the
really
Russians
was.
up in that. They didn't even.
Yeah,
Dude,
we
I
got
mean-
all the good stuff.
Oh, they had all the bus.
Well, there's nothing you're saying that's wrong. Everything that you and everything that XCorp is saying is actually true. But what if I told you guys there was more to the story and it gets into such a weird place? What is he doing?
Said he'll be back in one moment.
There's someone at my door. My dog
Oh,
just
no,
alerted me that
go
I'm
ahead.
about to die. One second.
It's all right.
Ooh, more pizza,
What-
yes.
There is a story that is so crazy that the U.S. government has actually failed. I shouldn't say failed. They have proactively tried to erase it from history books, but it is so prevalent in knowledge that they stopped and they started acknowledging it. But they shifted the focus to the German people who lost the World War II because it was actually less embarrassing than the real story.
Oh, so what you're saying is that even though they got all these academics from some very bad people, that's less embarrassing than the actual thing that took place and how we acquired them.
Not how they acquired them, how history got made.
Oh,
Na-
so
with-
the whole
with NASA.
shebang of a boodle.
Yes.
Okay,
So,
I'm not aware of any.
what if I told you that this story involved orgies and black magic
What
and
if I told you
Scientology?
I
Another
can connect
Well,
this
you know-
to the Dabbleverse
Yeah, there you go.
because Aaron Imholt, it was less embarrassing to admit licking the jizz off of April. He's like, yeah, I choked her.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And
It's a-
orgies, and I'm sure there's black magic in there somewhere.
Yeah, this is a crazy, crazy story. Dang Lizard, thank you for the €5. Ain't no Planet X coming, because there ain't no space, because there ain't no globe. Ain't no globe Earth?
Shout out No Globe Earth.
Ain't no globe Earth. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Guess we just got to vamp until Corp comes
Let
back.
Vaginas is down for the orgies.
I figured out why I had that echo.
No,
Oh,
why?
I'm stupid. I had both EV Mux and YouTube open at the same time.
Rookie
okay.
mistake.
Yep.
Rookie mistake.
Let's start off just talking a little bit of basic facts on Mr. Hubbard. Lafayette Ronald Hubbard was born March 13th, 1911. We all know that he's the founder of Scientology and blah, 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 blah. We'll get into all that later. But he was born in Nebraska. And it turns out also that he met some very interesting people after World War II. Or actually, I guess it was before World War II. But he was an officer in the Navy during World War II. No, I guess, wait. Nope, that timeline checks out. Yes, it was after World War II. He was a commander of 2 ships, but was removed from command both times. And one time was because he claimed that there was an enemy ship that he fired on, but it turned out it was a giant tree log of wood. And he was relieved of his command. After that,
if you can't just randomly fire one off at a fucking log that's in your way, then it's not worth piloting a sub.
but after that, he told people that it was in fact an enemy ship and completely fluffed up all of his military experience to say that he was a war hero, that he'd been wounded in battle. That all just is going to come to play eventually. But let's go ahead and get started with some of this video here. Let's see how we're going to do this. I think this one works. Yeah. Man, how long does it take to get food, XCorp? Come on now.
He may be getting robbed.
I was gonna say he's changing into like a long leather trench coat and a commander's hat. Oh wait, never mind.
Trying to plow down the food. I was getting hangry, but I couldn't show it. So I was just, my hanger was showing in silence. You know what I mean? Just plowing down food. I'm here. I heard everything. I heard absolutely everything. Including that comment.
Can you rewind that video like 2 seconds so XCorp can see the thumbnail so he can see himself, the cartoon of him?
God damn it, bro. I'm like fucking Jafar.
Urban with the captain's hat on top.
Where's your parrot, bro?
That's like a fucking teenage Jafar from Aladdin.
Oh, you know, it's funny. I actually even kind of forgot about it.
What's really funny is when I had the AI make that, I did not tell it to give you a turban and a captain's hat. And I was like, yep.
Right? It just fucking does it, right?
It does, yeah. I'm like,
yeah, not only is eating on stream rude, but I was eating a samosa and I'm like, I can't give these fucks the satisfaction.
After your first bite, you go, because it tastes so good.
My mom gets such a kick out of this. She's like, my son, we're not from Iran. I'm like, I know, Mom. I think.
Mom, I keep telling them.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, so yeah, hopefully you heard a little bit about that backstory.
I did.
But here we go. Now, again, this is going to be a prologue to L. Ron Hubbard, so he's not going to get mentioned for a little bit in this video. We're going to be focusing on a gentleman named Jack Parsons. And this is going to be a crazy story, folks. Buckle up. But I really do suggest that you listen closely because you might lose it. It's going to get a little complicated. But if you haven't heard this story, it's pretty great.
If you've never heard the name Jack...
Okay, I'm sorry. I just saw something now. Katie, thank you for being here. Those Scientologists still lay a fresh set of clothes out for him every day in the empty mansion they built after his death. It's more than that.
They should.
They lay out a fresh set of clothes, and I'm not joking here. A pack of his favorite cigarettes, which is replaced after they go stale, because they are awaiting L. Ron Hubbard's return. That is part of their religion. Yep.
Commitment's what that is.
All right. Now here we go.
Outrageous.
Cigarettes are expensive. Just leave like a note saying, "No, get here, we'll go buy you a pack."
He's not going to know the difference.
Get a fake pack that just doesn't go bad.
He died in like 1986. I mean, I'd be okay with like just saying, yeah, just give me the cash for the cigarettes. I'll go buy them.
Katie says he vapes now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, get him a fucking vape. That's cool. Bring him into the 21st century. Jeez.
He's asking like, man, no Virginia Slims or Cools?
Yeah, Cools.
What is this, Blue Raz? The fuck?
Jesus. Hey, there you go. Cool.
Nice. That is
God, I haven't seen one of those in forever. Advertising cigarette prices. Jesus, that seems like it was another life.
You know what's annoying? Here's Blue Raz. Oh, I'm a loser. I don't even smoke it. It's just there. You know what I mean?
All right, here we go.
Parsons, it is most likely because he is considered to be somewhat of an embarrassment to the American military, and efforts were made to erase his name from history. However, regardless of his reputation, Jack Parsons is considered to be the foremost developer and innovator of rocket science. He was the founder of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, he was an innovator of rocket fuels, and he paved the way for the creation of NASA and for humans to travel into space.
All right, so the guy we're going to be talking about is Jack Parsons. Now, this guy was not just a rocket scientist. This guy created rocket science. He created the concept of rocket science, what we know it today, because rockets didn't exist before Jack Parsons, and he, in fact, created the fuels, the aerodynamics, the structure, the chemistry for rockets. And that is who we're going to be focused on tonight.
But the man was a living, breathing enigma. Despite his dedication to science of the natural world, he led a double life that was also dedicated to a world of black magic, spells, conjuring spirits, and a practice called sex magic.
Oh, yeah.
Shut up, sex magic.
Hold on. Stewie Felt. Pretty sure it was the Nazis that did that. Stay tuned.
Whoa, what?
Well, see, and
Oh, yeah, I said the word shit.
The what?
I think you can say it now. We're
That
30
Eastern
minutes
European?
Yeah.
in. Yes.
Nazi,
Stewie Felt. Stay tuned. Maybe they did.
real quick,
maybe
Luigi.
they didn't.
before you hit play, I just remember that the History Channel did a lot of these documentaries back in the day, and
Oh, yeah.
there was a lot of supreme bad guys, occult stuff too. Like now I remember, like, he was very big into that type of magic and other things. Like every avenue you think some weirdo might explore, they explored it.
Oh, yeah. But the thing is, there is a very specific link here that ties a lot of stories together.
This sounds like Hydra.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
That's pretty much what it was. They had to change it to Hydra for media standards. So yeah,
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You're gonna see here. There is a direct link here to Scientology.
and we also can't remember we can't forget the all famous documentary Wolfenstein 3D, where he was fighting to get the Spear of Destiny that Cyber Hitler took.
Yeah, I know that mech suit was awesome.
It was a documentary.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Jack Parsons.
Jack Parsons was born in Los Angeles on October 2nd, 1914. His birth name was Marvel Whiteside Parsons. It was a mixture of his father's first name, Marvel Parsons, and his mother's name, Ruth Whiteside. However, soon after his birth, his parents divorced when his mother discovered that her husband had been having an affair. Ruth forbade Marvel from having any contact with their son, and she soon insisted that her son be referred to as John Whiteside Parsons. But many friends throughout his life knew him as Jack.
I only left that in just because of the fact that there might be a little bit of switching between John and Jack. His name was Jack. That's all just to set this up. I know it's not really important to the story, but the narration sometimes goes between John and Jack. So just wanted it to be a little clear.
I'm noticing a lot of pipe
Jack
bombs.
spent much.
A lot of what?
A lot of pipe bombs in the imagery.
It will make sense. I promise.
Also,
Of his child.
the Whitesides sound like the wacky Caucasian neighbors in a black comedy show.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna laugh at when the rocket was going. It's like, and she had an affair. And it's just like this rocket going.
Yeah, right. Good catch.
Nice.
I recently met someone with the name Aloysius. And I was like,
Was he suspicious?
well, I immediately thought Primus, from My Name is Mud.
Oh. Yes.
Anyway, I don't know why that related to anything, but you talked about Whitesides being a neighbor, and I thought about, what if I knew a guy named Aloysius, but I met him? Anyway, I guess it's really not related. That was a totally ridiculous tangent.
Bucket list items are always worth mentioning. You met an Aloysius. We're proud.
That's our brand.
Childhood in solitude because he preferred to stay indoors and read instead of making friends. At an early age, he fell in love with science fiction, specifically the works of Jules Verne and the pulp magazine Amazing Stories. It was through his love of science fiction that he developed a fascination with rockets and the...
What are you going to say?
Amazing Stories is so good. If you can find them on like Internet Archive or whatever, they're a fun read.
Yeah, and they always had banger cover art.
Is that
Oh yeah.
what was the inspiration for the show and the movies? I don't think I ever put that together.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Luigi. That's right. You were the one that was interested in the specific episodes too. Yes, Amazing Stories is based on this pulp, and more trivia is both Spielberg and George Lucas loved these types of things. Not just Amazing Stories, but if you look at Indiana Jones and all these other, they're all based in the same type of short story. Right. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not shocking that they produced it. Oh, sorry,
put that together. No, I just never put that together. Interesting. All right.
The dream of using a rocket to go into outer space. When discussing Jack Parsons' innovations to rocket science, it is important to remember that flight of any form had only been invented 10 years before Jack was born. The idea of using rockets was itself considered science fiction. In fact, many scientists and engineers of the time did not believe that space travel would ever be possible.
Now, I do think that is really important to this story. Flight had only been invented 10 years prior. And then there's this kid who starts thinking, I wonder if I can make rockets. I feel like that's just like quantum leaps beyond where the technology was. And then this kid just starts trying to make rockets. I might have spoiled a little bit there.
Jack would persist on mastering the science and maybe even the magic that was required to take a rocket into space.
We'd call that kid a
As an
crackhead
elementary
these
school
days, just so you know.
And that kid would get bullied.
Jack
autism
was a
for sure,
target.
right? He'd be just hyper focused.
Yes. Oh, man. Yes.
We call them Asians.
For bullies because of his penchant for reading and because he was perceived to
So that says that he was getting bullied, by the way. And because he was,
be effeminate.
Because he was girly.
He would one day receive help against his bullies.
Been there,
from
bro.
an older
Don't worry about it.
Okay, so listen to this part right here.
boy named Edward Foreman.
So one day he's getting bullied and someone steps in. The guy's name is Edward Foreman. These are kids.
Edward shared Jack's passion for science fiction and rockets, and the two would become lifelong friends. By the age of 12, the future father of the NASA space program was building rockets and conducting blast experiments with Edward in the backyard of Jack's home. Jack became so obsessed with the idea of a rocket taking him into space that he once even attempted to conjure the devil through a ritual in an effort to personally offer the devil his soul in exchange for the ability to accomplish this fantasy.
Okay.
So
instead of
I didn't
blues,
believe. I was like, this kid's never achieving anything until this part. Now I'm like, holy fuck, he did it.
Determination.
He did it.
So he starts, as a kid, he starts digging into the occult and witchcraft and black magic because his imagination goes so crazy about building rockets that, according to his biography, he claims that he tried to summon the devil to trade his soul in order to create the technology to make a rocket.
Bro,
When
that's
was
mental as the
was
bottle of
this
Coke and
written
hold it upside down.
about? Just because, as your resident conspiracy theory historian,
Are you
this
asking
is-
like when are you asking when the book was written or when he was?
when was
Or-
the claim that he made a deal with the devil? Because
Well,
that's also got its way into pop culture. Like,
Okay.
it's a repeated theory
It's
that
around-
musicians have done it.
It would have been somewhere around 1924, 25, but told in retrospect.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, it's that's a common one in the music industry. A lot of people
Right.
have
right?
claimed that.
During this time, Jack became distracted by his love of rockets, and as a result, his schoolwork suffered. Jack's mother grew impatient with him and enrolled him in a military school in an effort to get Jack back on track with his academics. Unfortunately, the plan failed, as Jack was expelled from the school for blowing up a dormitory toilet.
Yeah.
That's great, right?
Jack attended Stanford University to study physics and chemistry, but he had to drop out because his family could no longer afford the tuition due to the Great Depression. He took a job at the Hercules Powder Company, where he learned how to create explosive substances. In 1938, Jack became a local celebrity after a team of prosecutors visited Caltech in search of an explosive specialist to testify in a car bombing trial.
So you asked about that, CORNdiff, you asked about the pipe bomb. He, while in college, gets interviewed by some prosecutors who are trying to prosecute a case about a car bomb, and he apparently gave the most impressive speech on how bombs work and how he could identify what the bomb looked like prior to it exploding, and how he could actually repiece together the bomb, all of its components, and all of the important information the prosecutors were looking for to get a conviction. As a college student, he doesn't even have a degree yet.
Yeah,
Following an
bomb forensics, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know, wow, that's
inspection
amazing.
of the crime scene.
Sir, what is your
20
professional experience? I blew up the shitter. No further questions, Your Honor.
And that's what's crazy.
I get kicked out of West Point.
Proof's in the pudding. It.
Yeah.
3-year-old Jack rebuilt the bomb, explained to the courtroom how the device operated, and reenacted the explosion. His
A college student. I want to keep repeating this. Let's say you were in college and someone said, "Can you build a bomb?" Would you have said, "You got it"?
That's a racist
You
question
got
to
it.
me, and you know it is.
Good one. That gets some applause, XCorp. That was good. That was really good. Was not expecting that. Rumple Trenchcoat, thank you for the $5. His teachers were disappointed when he did poorly, telling him, "Come on, kid, it isn't rocket science." Thank you very much, Rumple Trenchcoat. Stewie Felt celebrates 4 months of membership. Thank you for being here.
He looks like Tony Stark's father.
He does.
Yes.
That's it. I was trying to put my finger on it. Like, he looks like one of those guys, like Howard Hughesy types, you know, with that mustache and everything. Like, I'm going to just do whatever the fuck I'm going to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if it.
Yeah, I wonder if this is an inspiration. Those guys are very pointed with their detail in
I
in
think
the costume
so.
design.
I do believe, I would believe it, because that does look a lot like him.
Totally.
Awesome. Man, what a great reference. All right, let's see.
testimony helped put 3 culprits in prison and introduced Jack to the public as an explosives expert. As his early career began to gain momentum, he found companionship with a woman named Helen Northrup, a private and rarely photographed person who was described by those who knew her as good-natured and intelligent. The two met at a Baptist
You're not wrong.
church dance, and within a year, they were married.
Shit.
But in his early adulthood, Jack discovered a curious book of religious essays on a friend's bookshelf. Its title was Kanzam Pax, and it served as one of the earliest texts in developing the religion of Thelema, although its message was shrouded in allegory. The owner of the book considered it little more than an oddity, but would describe Jack's impression of it as real water to a thirsty man. Jack soon became captivated by its author, an enigmatic English occultist named Aleister Crowley. Jack.
Now,
here we
I didn't
go.
know we were going here. Oh, nuts.
Does anyone know who Aleister Crowley is?
I do.
The hell was that?
It was my German.
I do. No, I fingered the mute button and it hit a drop.
Oh,
Oh, bro, I thought it was Aleister Crowley's entrance. I was like, yeah, that's baller.
Yeah.
Aleister Crowley,
Does anyone know Aleister Crowley?
huge fan of Stained.
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Let's go.
Stewie Fell, thank you for the $5. I remember Dianetics was heavily advertised on TV as a kid in
Yeah,
the
that's
early
what I
80s.
was talking about.
Man, I mean, I remember as a kid seeing that commercial with the volcano and wondering, what is that about? You know? And thank God I never found out. All right. So give us a little bit of what you know about Aleister Crowley, XCorp.
I believe they refer to him. This is just off the top of my head. I'm probably going to miss it for what it actually is, but like the godfather of the occult. Like he is the guy. He kind of popularized, at least brought it to mainstream. He was involved in bands like Led Zeppelin. A lot of people in the music industry kind of idolize or at least allude to him being a big influence in their lives.
He made it popular. He made the occult popular in Britain. What he had to say about it wasn't actually necessarily anything new. He based a lot of it in Freemasonry, a lot of mumbo jumbo, but he did kind of customize it for Britain. Yeah. But let's hear about what role he plays in this story. What are you going to say? Go ahead.
He did. I don't know if he was the head guy who invented. They alluded to it there, Thelema or Thelma. I don't know what it is, Thelema. But it's do what thy will or do what you want.
That was what he called the law. The law is do what thou wilt. And yes, it has to do with Thelema, the religion that he created.
He did create it. Okay, nice.
Learned that Aleister Crowley had a small group of followers only 10 miles from Pasadena, who operated a church out of the attic of a house in East Hollywood. Every Sunday, its members would conduct a public performance of a ritual that Crowley had written to encapsulate his philosophies, called the Gnostic Mass. At the time, this attic was the only place in the world where the Gnostic Mass was performed, and only a few photographs of these performances still exist.
Did I fucking ruin this next bit?
Nah.
Nice.
Through a French religious community that American media referred to as the Purple Cult. Its name usually accompanied descriptions of coffin-shaped altars and rituals performed by costumed citizens
I see you side-eyeing Gummi.
California.
What was that?
Purple Cult. Yeah. I see some Gummies over there looking around suspicious. Purple Cult, Purple Cat. I'm on to you.
So what's funny is that what's interesting about this is that this is the 30s, okay? And America's concept of what it was like in the 30s was buttoned up, very religious, conservative, very hidden to the real world. What are you doing?
I don't know what you're talking about.
And
purple.
But it turns out that there were these people who, not too different than today, had cults that were hidden from, from visibility, from public sight, and were operating, doing well in basements and spreading their word and growing. It's just kind of odd. It's a little bit of a dichotomy to me when I think of what the 30s was. There's prohibition at the time, and people were just trying to be as Christian as possible. My opinion, but obviously I'm wrong.
Well, you're probably dead right, and that's what breeds the answer to this, right? When you're extreme one way, it breeds the
all comes in waves.
The other way. Yeah.
Yep.
Self preferred the name
it brought this, and it also brought about the whole gangsters in in Chicago and whatnot with the prohibition. So it's just like XCorp said, it breeds the other side. Like you tip the scale one way, it's going to balance out.
We're always interested in the taboo as people, so as soon as you make gangster and alcohol taboo thing or occult things taboo, people are going to want to know. You're inspiring the opposite of what you want.
Yeah.
Lima, a word derived from the classical Greek for divine. It was a belief system that had only been around for approximately 40 years, with its membership numbered in the dozens. It includes traditions such as specific prayers before meals, funeral customs, holidays celebrated to commemorate important dates, an essential holy book to which all believers adhere. While Los Angeles had been its nucleus for much of the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, its believers were spread across the world, operating alone or in small groups, and communicating with one another by mail.
So, like we were saying, this actually wasn't even just here. It was all over the world. and all being led by this guy, Aleister Crowley. He had these sects that were all doing his bidding for his religion. It's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it. But then this guy, who is a very intelligent guy, comes across it. This guy who has based his life in science, in the real world, logic, reason, physical evidence, buys into this. And it gets weird.
Jack's tenure as a Thelemite is best described as complicated, with his approach to Thelemic practices leaving many of his peers puzzled. But from Jack's perspectives, he had become the religion's new prophet, chosen to bring mankind under the law of Thelema. The church had...
So not only does he buy into it, he becomes a leader in this cult.
existed in Los Angeles for about 4 years, and its primary function was to operate as the American Lodge of an international Masonic organization called the Ordo Templi Orientis, commonly abbreviated as the OTO.
OTO is basically growing out of a structure that is loosely based on Freemasonry. And so the instructional method of OTO is primarily through its ritual initiations and study and practice of the principles that are inculcated through those.
Stewie Felt, thank you for the $2. I've got Uncle Rico muted. I'm all in on this. Stewie Felt, buckle up. We haven't even gotten to the weird shit yet.
Oh, man. And by the way, if you want a very normal, great speaker guy on a podcast who used to be an ex-member of the OTO, I got you. I'll set you up.
That's what this guy is. Oh, wait. Oh, you mean you know somebody?
Yeah, I can get him on the show.
Oh, word?
Yeah, he was on. Have you ever seen the show with Tinfoil Podcast? With that guy who was on Rogan. Fucking, I hate that guy.
Sam Tripoli.
What's that guy's name? Anyways, it's a conspiracy podcast, but he was on it, and then I invited him on to the Real Fake Talk Show, and he was on my third guest. But he dude.
Oh,
Like, we can say whatever we want about it. There are people that fucking do shit and like go into these things that have real rituals and shit, like modern day. We're talking 30s. I'm talking right now.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about it. Matt Hibner, this sums it up. How far would you go for some pussy? There you go. That says it all.
Right.
I am him.
The meaning behind the OTO's...
Eddie Bravo, right?
Yeah,
The conspiracy guy.
What's the other show you're talking about?
Fuck, it's gonna bother me. Eddie Bravo is on that show.
Yeah.
Not the main
I know the guy, but I can't remember the name of the show either.
Yeah,
like Ninth Planet or some shit. I don't know.
Oh, 10th Planet, because isn't that also the name of his jiu-jitsu gym?
No, he's on the show, but it's not the guy I'm thinking of. 1 second. Just a very quick Google away.
I don't watch Joe Rogan. I probably won't even recognize the name.
Sam Tripoli or Tripoli.
Oh,
I did say Tripoli.
Sperg said Sam Tripoli earlier.
Did you literally say it? I was fucking staring into a void all my life. No, I just can't believe we got here, bro. This is suggestion is this deserves its own show, Luigi. This shit is nuts.
We haven't even gotten there yet. There's a lot more here.
I'll shut up. Let's go. Oh.
Yeah, me too. I gotta keep
Felt,
quiet.
thank you for the $5. I hope this don't lead to my dad joining the Moose Lodge in the 70s.
Listen, I grew up in a moose lodge. Like, it was right next to my uncle's business, and we would go over there. I was like just out of diapers, 3 or 4 years old, and I didn't know. Well, I played Centipede all night. Give me more quarters.
I love mooses.
Moose.
I looked at getting a loyal Order of the Moose ring once off of eBay. I swear to God, they're pretty cool.
There's other worlds I don't even know about. When you guys say this shit, I'm like, I don't even know what all this shit is.
This one goes so
Order
deep.
of the Moose is fire.
Moose Lodge? What the hell is I don't even know. I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna have to learn. Anyway, well, let's listen to this because, folks, I'm telling you, this is all just the intro. We haven't even gotten to the weird shit yet.
Ritual performances are hidden in symbolism, making them inaccessible to outsiders.
What are you saying?
I said the pictures look ridiculous in color, but they look badass in black and white. I don't know why, but that's just how I see it.
Oh, no, I agree.
But the Order's manifesto offers this as its overall purpose. The aims of the OTO can only be understood fully by its highest initiates, but it may be said openly that it teaches hermetic science or occult knowledge, the pure and holy magic of light, the secrets of mystic attainment, yoga of all forms, and all other branches of the secret wisdom of the ancients. End quote. While the origins of the order can be traced back to the European Freemasons of the late 1800s, after Aleister Crowley took leadership in the early 20th century, the OTO began to form its own identity as the first and only Masonic body to place the religion of Thelema at the center.
All right, so I'm going to be honest. I've read the history of the OTO and Thelema several times, and I'm still not clear on exactly what their position was. But the OTO is apparently a sect of Freemasonry, and Aleister Crowley started integrating his religious concepts of Thelema into the OTO, as I understand it. I could be wrong, but I'm telling you, it is just a little complicated, and a lot of people tell varying versions of this story. Anyway, so this is going to be the Suicide Squad.
Jack
Listen
and
to
Edward
this.
Foreman continued to be friends and eventually met a Caltech student named Frank Molina.
You remember who Edward Foreman was? Edward Foreman was the guy who defended him from bullies when he was a kid. They stayed friends and started rocketing together.
At a university lecture on aeronautics, Frank introduced Jack and Edward to his thesis advisor, Theodore von Karman. This group began to work together with the assistance of several Caltech graduate students to create a rocket engine. The group's experiments were sanctioned by the Caltech-affiliated Guggenheim Aeronautical Laboratory, or GALSIT for short.
Now, I want to remind everyone, if you remember from what we said earlier, Jack Parsons had to quit college because he couldn't afford it. This is an uneducated, self-taught chemist who actually got the ear and attention of real scientists because they believed him and his skills to create rocket fuels. It's an unbelievable story.
College is overrated. Kanye dropped out. You ever hear about that?
Yeah, look how well he's doing.
Yeah, he got replaced. Dumbass. You're right.
It's, you know, that the jingle we play, the more you know, there needs to be one. It's who you know, because that's kind of more important sometimes. This guy knew some important people, and it got him into a good position in life.
But what's crazy though is he backed up all of his claims. So, you know, we've seen con men who have said, you know, I could do this, and when push comes to shove, or when you got to put pen to paper, they completely fail. This guy, from the get-go, was like, yeah, I taught myself rocket science, and I can prove it. And then he proved it, and then continued to come into contact with more and more crazy, powerful people who actually gave him opportunities, and he continued to succeed. That's what's crazy about this guy. It's insane. It was a nutty story. But now he is backed by a university. He's getting funding from a university to develop rocket technology.
And the group was given the name the GALSIT Rocket Research Group. Around the Caltech campus, the GALSIT group was jokingly referred to as the Suicide Squad because of several near-disaster experiments with explosives. Jack and other members of the squad were given security clearance and ordered not to disclose their work with anyone. And as war spread across Europe, the squad labored in secret. The group successfully created a takeoff rocket for the U.S. military that was fuel-assisted.
And then again, they give him a task and he accomplishes it for the military. He actually was the first person to figure out that there needed to be a medium between solid fuel and liquid fuel. And he figured it out and how to make it maintain the stasis where it never turned into one or the other, and that way it burned slower. The guy was really a genius, but he was a lunatic.
Jack then founded the company Aerojet in 1942 to develop and sell this rocket technology during
Now, XCorp, pay attention to this part.
World War
Aerojet.
II.
Sounds so
The
generic.
GALSIT Rocket Research Group later became known as
Terrible design
Jet
as well
Propulsion
for the logo.
Laboratory in 1943 and would ultimately become the foundation of NASA.
Oh,
Did you hear that? The company started by Jack Parsons was Aerojet, which later became Jet Propulsion Laboratories, which merged to create NASA.
And none of this seems suspect to you so far. You're good. You're good with fucking everything you've been told so far. It's just like, yeah, no, all
What?
good. Just
No, this is the story that was hidden. America has tried to deny this story. And ultimately they caved and learned and gave in to acknowledging, fine, this really did happen.
Okay.
Yeah. So are you saying you don't believe this story?
I'm saying it sounds a little fucking weird so far, but
It is weird. That's the whole point of it. It's incredibly weird.
But if it were, like, I'm so confused at your line of skepticism. You know what I mean? You're like, well, this is all fact. We're moving forward. You know what I mean? Like 9/11 might have been inside. Like, hey, shut up, Brownie. You know what I mean? Like, whoa. Let's. Do you believe anything's like could be like fucking skeptic? Like, you know what I mean? Like on this.
Why don't we keep going?
Yeah. Let's keep going. Let's keep
Keep going. And then I'll be open to any questions you have. Okay?
Yeah.
The performance of the Gnostic Mass was never far from Jack's mind, and over time he began to immerse himself in the philosophy, history, and purpose of Thelema through the writing of its enigmatic prophet. To his followers around the world, he was called such titles as Baphomet and the Master Therion. But to the wider public, he was an Englishman named Aleister Crowley, and his name...
Wait a minute. Well, now I can't stop thinking about it. What part of this don't you believe?
What do you mean believe? I'm with it for so far. I'm just saying. I
thought you were saying you didn't believe this happened.
I just know where. I see where like it might be going. So I'm just curious to know on the part of it. But
right.
I just don't like. I'm never like take 100% of anything at face value ever.
And that's fine.
I don't go either way ever. So I'm not like saying like I super disbelieve this. I'm just saying I can see for me how there could be.
Stewie Fell, thank you for the $5. I hear you.
Yeah.
And I think this might be where you're going with this. What this super chat is. Luigi, this will touch on it, but do a show about Project Paperclip in the future. Keep watching, Stewie Felt. This actually... all right. I'm not going to say anything, but let's keep watching.
Name began appearing in the press around the turn of the 20th century.
More like not a space program.
As an avid mountaineer,
I have that on a
he
t-shirt.
gained attention from journalists for his expeditions to some of the world's tallest and most dangerous peaks, where members of his climbing group didn't always come back alive. His poetry also garnered public recognition, both for its lyricism and frequently provocative subject matter, with many critics predicting a promising literary career ahead of him. However, mainstream opinion of Aleister Crowley began to shift in 1909, when he debuted a book series titled The Equinox. While the series would include much of Crowley's literary output, the book's stated purpose was to offer suitable candidates initiation into a training academy. Its members, hidden among society and practicing in secret, were students of what Crowley would call magic.
Okay, we with this so far? This is the guy who is now Jack Parsons' spiritual leader. All right.
The science and art of causing change to occur in conformity with will. The book series served as a repository for the school's curriculum, guided meditations to develop the student's astral body, and rituals for invoking the gods of ancient mythology were encountered at various grade levels, alongside methods for training the mind and body to safely perform them. Tuition would be free aside from the price of the books, but admission would be limited to those who could pass an introductory written exam, demonstrating adequate knowledge of astrology, the Kabbalah, and comparative Eastern religions, among other topics.
So there's an entrance exam to become part of this religion.
Where do you stand on this one, Luigi? Like, cause that's another part that's a little confusing to me, because you're like, yep, all good, but I'm like, you surely have your alarm off on this.
I don't get what you're asking. That's the thing. I don't understand what you're saying.
For this,
are you asking if
stuff.
I believe this exists?
Yeah, like on the occult stuff. Like, where do you where do you stand on like the occult?
Like, do I believe that
side of thing?
Do I believe that people do this? Is that what I'm not totally clear what you're saying.
Are you asking
like,
believe
on one side, you're like, a guy is
no,
like,
no,
hey,
I don't. Wait, are you saying do I believe this is real?
I'm just confused on where you stand on.
Let's clarify.
Where
Real.
you stand on occult.
Real could mean do occult people actually do these actions, and it could mean do they actually work.
Okay. I believe
clarify.
people do this stuff. No, I do not believe this works. I believe this is nonsense, and that I find that's part of why it is such a dichotomy that Jack Parsons had such a logical job, scientific job, but spent his evenings being completely illogical.
So this is where I asked the question. That's kind of where I was maybe assuming too much in the beginning. So part of the reason that I'm finding disbelief is a guy who has a kind of a I don't want to say outrageous, but I mean outrageous in like a not bad way, but just like it's crazy. It's outside of the normal, outlandish, outside of the normal opinion of what a normal route is. Like he drops out of school, goes into rockets 10 years before flight was just invented, before he was even born. And now he hooks up with a known, like, in your mind, a known, like, kind of con artist area.
Right.
And then he propels himself. I don't see how there's no red flags for you yet. That was what I was saying earlier.
Why do you say there's no red flags? We're devoting an episode to this.
Oh, okay. Because you're like, this guy created NASA. You're going to fucking see the Nazis. And I was like, what?
No. This guy is a lunatic.
Okay, fucking, dude. For whatever reason, I thought you were on the other side of the fence. And I was
Why?
like, get
Why
back
would
over
you
here.
think that?
I don't know, man. Because you're like, this guy created NASA. I was like, no. What? The Nazis.
No.
No. Listen, we're gonna bring the N word into this. I promise. Go ahead.
But so far it's more embarrassing because NASA's basically founded on a guy who's not documentedly educated. He kind of just got his education, like you said, through self-teachings and knowing other academics who helped him along. Got the ear of some important people, but at the same time selling his soul to the devil through Aleister Crowley and performing ritual to help push his scientific career. It's strange. It's like it's like praying to God so you can get a calculus theory. Or you know what I'm saying? Like I get it. I know where we're at. Okay, I think I do anyway.
But no, I'm not on the side of saying Jack Parsons was was some sort of hero in any way. He's obviously fucked in the head, but the dichotomy and the irony of it is that he did actually do something good in the end, and we'll see that. But the Nazi aspect of it just hasn't happened yet because we haven't gotten there yet. On the timeline, the war is only starting. So, stay tuned.
I really wish you would have said how much you believed it and waited till the end. Reveal that you did it. Be like, yeah, you don't believe Corp?
I could not follow where he's like, so you believe this? I was like, well, I believe it happened, but I don't get it. I could not
understand. The way that we're phrasing this about NASA, because I don't know if it's... Yeah, let's continue. I feel like
no. Okay, let me address that real quick. And the only reason that I addressed it with that, I guess you'd call it stinger of NASA, was because you said in a conversation that we had once that you were like, well, space isn't real, and I think that NASA was, I forget exactly how you said it, but you said NASA was built on lies or something like that.
No,
that's what it was. Scheme. That's what it was. You said NASA's a Ponzi scheme. So
NASA Nazi. See how close
I sunk my teeth into that, and I was like, you don't know how big of a Ponzi scheme it is.
Bro, so you and me are brothers in crime here. Okay, sweet. I thought this was like, yo, fuck you, Corp. This is how real NASA is. No. And then you start bringing out Aleister Crowley and shit. I'm like, oh, bro, this is deep. He's bringing the devil into this.
I'm saying that when you said it's a Ponzi scheme, I'm saying you don't know half the story.
Oh my God, nice. You're gonna give okay, beauty. Hit play.
Actually, Corp, this is an intervention. We're trying to introduce you into Scientology, my brother.
Corp,
I'm cool with Scientology. It makes more sense than half the shit I hear.
Corp, we need you to stop being Persian. You're hurting us.
This one's actually going to be super easy for me, believe it or not.
Put away the chain, shave your chest. Come on, let's lock in.
No. I am very sorry that you got that impression. No, my whole point was I asked you a couple of questions about NASA after you said the Ponzi scheme that you didn't know the answer to, and I was like, oh.
What? Oh, yeah.
So yeah, then let's talk more.
Yeah, because mine was based on just like I said, they literally and I don't know about this part, which maybe you're about to show, in the public opinion or what's been documented, facts, declassified with paper clips. They brought Nazis over to do stuff. So
Yes, and I never disagreed with that. I'm saying there's more to the story. Yeah, and this is where that happens. Okay, well, let's spoil it.
There's more.
These guys wind up actually working with the Nazis from Project Paperclip. Fuck yeah.
Shout out to Nazis from Project Paperclip.
So, yeah, I'm sorry. I never intended for you to think that I was trying to discredit anything you were saying. No.
Because I get crazy, and a lot of people, everything I say, they're like,
No.
"You fucking idiot," and I'm like, God
No,
damn
I'm
it,
adding. I'm adding to your conspiracies now.
my guy.
Yes.
And I saw a $2 super tip from Dang Lizard coming in saying XCorp is saying, "Wait, you believe NASA exists?"
Hold on. Where do you see it? Oh,
Do
there you
you?
go. Thank you, Dang Lizard, for the €2. XCorp is saying, "Wait, you believe NASA exists?" Okay, yes. Sorry, you just said that. Sorry.
Sorry.
All right.
We're on your
So,
side, Corp. Put the IE.
We are on your side,
We're on
Corp.
your
Yes, we're basically adding a sequel to your story, or a prequel to your story.
I was about to
That
put my
at every
Persian glasses
stage
on.
you are being taught by someone who has done the work before you, that is at least one grade ahead of you. So in order to advance, you have to do a certain set of practices and document it diligently in a magical diary. It is then submitted and reviewed to your superior, and it's a training and testing organization.
Now, this part I left in because it's important as we continue and we actually hit the story of Scientology, because we're going to see all this come back. But this is what it was like being a member of the Thelemic religion. You had to keep a journal. You had to do rituals. You had to do all this sorts of nonsense.
And you simply don't advance until you have shown that you have the capacity to pass certain tests. And some of these are ritual competence. Some of them have to do with meditative results. Some of the training has to do with memorization of magical correspondences, such as planets and gods and incenses and such that are associated together, with certain Kabbalistic principles.
Student progress would be measured by advancement along a skill tree, with
Although I
each
think
grade
rhubarb
representing
on the list was
attainment
really
in...
funny.
What'd you say?
Rhubarb was on the list. That tickled me. Like seeing that's like a magical properties of rhubarb.
Oh, I didn't even see that. That's
Yeah.
funny.
That was one
in
of
one or more of the
ingredients.
school's magical disciplines, culminating in the ultimate attainment, realization of the student's divine purpose, what Crowley called the true will. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. In his personal writing, Jack would interpret the verse as a call to express his total self on all planes of being and experience. And in February of 1941, roughly 2 years after attending their first Gnostic Mass,
What'd you say?
Later Latin vaginas said she's got a client coming in 15 minutes. Catch you boys later.
Ah, all right. See you later, Latin vaginas.
Shout out to clients.
Come back and see how this ends. I think you're going to like it.
Yes, come back after cleanup.
records show that Jack and Helen Parsons had officially been initiated into both the magical school of the AA and the Thelemic Masonic Order of the OTO, taking the law of Thelema as their new religious ideologies. The inclusion of Jack had been cause for optimism, as members wrote to Crowley to brag of the intellect, enthusiasm, and striking appearance of their new recruit.
So now people in the religion are saying, not only is Jack Parsons a leader, he's a great leader. Again, reinforcing this this crazy dichotomy of a person who is completely scientific in their work, but completely unscientific and religious and spiritual and nonsensical in their personal life.
Citing,
wait, what the fuck? What is this? Mr. Blue Sky, thank you very much
Does not
for
believe in Elvis.
some kind of currency.
Oh, those are Norwegian kroners right
Norwegian. Oh, Norwegian kroners
Knock.
of 59. Can someone please get me the the exchange rate of Norwegian kroners? I don't believe in midgets, nor do I believe in elves. Well, that's where elves come from, don't they? From Norway? Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
That's a solid 586.
Awesome. Thank you for the 586 American.
Nice.
Norwegian kroners.
Yep, I'm an N-word. Oh, trolls. Okay, well, all right. That's fair.
Jack as a valuable asset to the order. With Crowley's blessing, Jack advanced quickly through the early degrees, with the order's closely guarded magical secrets on his horizon. His time thus far in the AA had been spent at the introductory grade of probationer, where he would obtain a ceremonial robe to wear during his magical practices, and begin a new daily routine that would signal his transformation into a Thelemic magician. 4 times per day, he would perform a short ritual adoration to the sun called...
All right, so this is where it gets a little weird in that it becomes part of his daily routines that he has to actually do all from a guy's brain, all from Aleister Crowley's brain, these rituals. He has to start doing rituals as part of his daily routine. And apparently he's even seen at work stopping to do these rituals.
Called Libra Resh. And twice per day, he would perform the lesser ritual of the pentagram, in which a series of connected star patterns are drawn and visualized in the air around himself, before summoning the 4 archangels who rule over the elements of air, water, fire, and earth. The Suicide Squad materialized into a proper company, taking the name Aerojed.
What'd you say?
All you need is heart, and you got Captain Planet.
I'm keeping this in here. I realize it's getting a little boring with what that involved, but it becomes important when you just see how committed he was to this. And then there actually is going to be a part here that we're going to learn that he really commits to.
Hey, Luigi. Jados were their flagship.
I don't think this is boring at all.
Yo.
I was trying to find, I think I have fucking Aleister Crowley's books. I'll send them to you. I have them in PDFs. They're nuts.
Oh, that's cool. I think you can buy them. I think like they're pretty available, right?
Yeah, I didn't buy them.
And as long as the war continued, business was nearly guaranteed. To commemorate, Jack purchased a 10-bedroom, 8-bathroom mansion located in a Pasadena suburb called Millionaires Row. And it was here, in the house that would become infamously nicknamed the Parsonage, that both Jack's magical and professional lives took an unexpected turn.
All right, folks. Now it's going to get weird.
Fuck yeah.
And I want to emphasize this episode is actually devoted to L. Ron Hubbard, but you have to know this story to understand L. Ron Hubbard.
The mansion was located at 1003 South Orange Grove Avenue and was known by the citizens of Pasadena as home to millionaire and lumber operator Arthur Fleming. But after Jack Parsons took ownership, the atmosphere changed. The OTO temple was moved from the attic in East Hollywood to the mansion's upper story, with several fellow Thelemites moving into the home.
All right, I'm sorry. This is too funny. Mr. Blue Sky, my inn stole Chad's bike.
Owns many spare bedrooms in adjacent buildings.
Okay, so now what we're talking about here is that while the OTO was operating out of a basement, now they got cash because Jack Parsons was now a multimillionaire from his rockets and his rocket science, and he bought a mansion. And he said, no more hiding. We're going to do everything here. Come on over, move in if you have to.
Newspaper advertisements offering evening courses in magic and occult philosophy directed incoming visitors to the Fleming Mansion, where weekly productions of the Mystic Mass were now performed in more lavish surroundings. Despite the fact that Jack Parsons was a man of science and logic during the day, at night he was casting spells, conducting occult rituals, and participating in group sex, all in the hopes that the universe would help his dreams come true. Jack met the famous English occultist Aleister Crowley, and in 1939 both Jack and his wife Helen became deeply involved in Crowley's belief system known as Thelema. The mantra of Thelema was simple: do what thou wilt. The name Aleister Crowley was well known to American authorities. His reputation had been tarnished by tabloid stories of drug-induced orgies, followers being branded with heated daggers, and rituals in which neighborhood animals were sacrificed, all supposedly occurring among himself and his students of magic, earning him the title, the wickedest man in the world. When asked why a man of his professional standing would be attracted to such a belief system, Jack replied simply, "It fulfills my religious needs." As a follower of Thelema, Jack performed a ritual magic, including banishing impure elements with pentagrams, invoking the power of holy guardian angels, eating cakes filled with minstrel blood.
Do you hear that?
Wait, what? Minstrel blood.
Eating cakes that were made with period blood.
Oh, ew.
Like, what are menstruals? Those little...
No, I heard minstrel like the performer. I'm like, are they killing like minstrels and Yeah, that's what Stevie felt heard what I heard.
Mitchell.
Like when white people dress up in blackface. Yeah. I thought they were like no, that's gross, dude.
But eating people is okay.
Well, human blood is less gross than menstrual blood. Ew, there's like extra things in there that you don't do that, people.
It attracts bears.
Yeah. So
I got a quick question for you, Luigi.
Sure.
Like, you know what the placebo effect is, right? Like, you give somebody sugar pills for their headache and their headache goes away. Do you think that Jim Parsons is so committed to this because Jack Parsons?
Jim Parsons is the gay guy from Big Bang Theory.
Shout out to gay guys from Big Bang Theory.
He's a good actor too. But like, so he's committed to the occult so hard. Like, do you think that he's
Mammy?
Yeah, it's okay to eat that. That's fine.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Is he committed?
Aunt Jemima in there instead.
So does he believe he's getting the results out of this that he's intending to get? Is that your question?
Yeah, basically, like he's believing it. He's believing it so hard that and then subsequently he is getting results because whether he's smart enough or not, he thinks because he's doing these rituals, it's inflating his intelligence and giving him the answers.
Yes, and I believe that he was fully committed, the real deal, and we're going to see why. And that is actually where Mr. Hubbard joins the story. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to believe that anyone could commit this much, give up their home, and start a church in their house if they weren't believing it, but who knows? But from all accounts, people who knew him say, oh, this dude really believed this shit. And yeah, just let's listen.
Nope, not at all. I was just going, well, you're like, I don't know who would do this. I'm like, well, money's a hell of a fucking driver. You know what I mean?
But then we're also,
I'd be really fucking believing. You had celebrities showing up at your shit, giving you millions of dollars. You're able to build a fucking mansion, move people in, bro. But you would see me, Captain Believe. Whatever the fuck is working, it's working. Trust. Look at my life.
Despite being the host of Skeptical Robot, I'm not sure I wouldn't start a cult in my house if I was a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? A sex
It seems to be extremely lucrative.
Led Zeppelin, the Beatles rolling in. You're like, yeah, no, for real. You just got to fucking do 7 circles backwards at fucking sunset. You're like, what?
Here, draw this and then stand with a bowl of water on your head. That's actually one of the things. I cut that out of this video. That like you have to try to stand for as long as you can without any movement with a bowl of water on your head, or you have to like stop and stare with no movement for one solid 24-hour period. Like there's like all this weird shit. And in my mind, I'm reading this and I'm like, dude, this guy was put on the spot and came up with something right then and there and just wrote it down. Like,
this is how I feel about fucking NASA when they're talking about planets. Like, well, the sun is 70 bajillion miles away and it's fucking 80 gajillion times the size of that fucking moon, and the moon's just like really close, but they match up to be the same size like 2 times a year. I don't know, dude, just shut up. It's fucking, we're scientists. Right. So it's like the same belief that they like put in. Like this guy's like, I'm a rocket scientist, and you're like, no, you're a crackhead. You know
I think this is where our ideals divert.
Yeah, that's where I thought. I was like, you know what I mean? Everything just seems made up. They're like,
but what you're saying, Sperg, about his belief in it, we're gonna learn his commitment to it. Yeah,
and offering daily adoration to the sun.
I mean, I get it because it's like, wait, you telling me all I gotta do is draw 2 triangles and I'm gonna get laid? Bet I'm in. It's like,
well, that was the thing. That wasn't. That was the thing. It sold itself. People were buying into this without knowing what it was. He didn't even have to try. Yeah.
Well, see, and to your point, go make a vision board, glue that picture of the Corvette on the front, and when the Corvette shows up in your driveway, you willed that shit into existence.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. He's doing literal ritual, like in that way. It's the same to me. Like, okay, I'm going to look for everything I want. I'm going to create a vision board, and then I'm going to meditate on how I'm going to get it. He's doing this, but invoking a weird spiritual aspect of it. Like he's
Totally.
drawing energy from the universe in order to fund his rocket science.
Totally. I am starting the video now.
He also engaged in
Sorry.
something called
This
sex
reminds
magic,
me of a
which was the belief that during the intense feeling one has while having an orgasm, a gate would open into the universe. And in that
That was the definition of sex magic, is that if you can focus your ideals like what you're talking about, Sperg, what is that, The Gift, or what was that stupid thing called, that book that Hulk Hogan was saying about the vision boards?
The Secret.
and-
The Secret.
Yeah,
Secret. It's like
That's
The
it.
Secret, except it needs an orgasm. as long as you can visualize your vision board while having an orgasm. That was the important thing, was that you had to be having an orgasm and it would manifest itself.
Right when you come. Like, it has to be laser right when you come. Otherwise, you fucked it up.
Stewie Fell, thank you for the $2. Imagine Neil deGrasse Tyson doing this. I do, especially the orgasms.
Luigi, can
That's
you go
small.
back like 3 seconds? I'm sorry, because I want to know, is that the evil queen from fucking Snow White?
Yes. Was it a costume party?
Right? You saw that, right?
Yeah, I didn't know what the hell it was.
That was what they were talking about, the ceremonial robes. They do dress up like goofballs.
That was
intense
no, but
feeling
yeah,
one
but
has
that was
was
while
like
like
having an
mirror
orgasm.
mirror shit.
Queen-
A gate
yeah,
would
right there. Look. That looks like the evil queen from
Yeah,
Snow
yeah,
White.
yeah. Snow White.
Yeah, totally.
It's almost like Disney puts allegories in their children's cartoons. I don't know. Super weird.
Open into the universe. And in that small window of opportunity, he believed that it was possible for a human being to perform a magic spell as long as he could focus his intention.
Harry
Jack
Potter
became the
Patronus.
leader of his own group. He would host drug-fueled orgies at his house in Pasadena.
Oh, now they're
By this
drug
time,
fueled.
Parsons was habitual
Yeah,
using
drugs are the
alcohol,
best.
Win in Pasadena.
marijuana,
To the Satanists,
cocaine,
that is.
amphetamines, peyote, mescaline, and opiates.
Did you hear that list of drugs they were taking?
Listen, I'm joining.
That's it.
I was raised a Catholic, brother. I'm joining that church in a heartbeat. We were raised on guilt and shame. Hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lots of
Drugs
powerful
and
hallucinogens. Yeah.
Sounds cool.
Unfortunately, Jack's wife did not enjoy Jack's new lifestyle. The Parsons had both been conducting affairs with fellow members, and Jack was quickly developing a reputation at the Jet Propulsion Lab for propositioning many of its female employees.
So there's so much orgy, there's so much orgying that despite being married, they're both involved in their own sets of orgies.
As you do.
And they have an open marriage, obviously. But listen to this.
Various
she bang a lawyer
passages in
and
the
they get
book of
arrested
the
for
law
drugs?
reinforce this culture of sexual freedom as a means of exploring one's true will, with the concept of sin defined as that which restricts the will. Jack would also encounter a test of personal limitations, where he would be asked to determine how long he could go without eating or drinking, how long he could go without sleep, and how much alcohol he could consume. But Jack began to push the limits of his
Welcome
new
to college.
lifestyle when he began an affair with Helen's younger sister.
He starts an affair with his wife's younger sister.
Baller move. All right.
This guy's a fucking legend. Everything just seems like a drunken thing. Be like, hey,
Yeah, bro,
like-
he traded the car in for the new model. Go for it.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like,
literally.
hey, it's like, hey, well, like, come to bed. It's like, oh, God said, how long can I sleep for? Or Satan said it. How long can I go without sleep? It's like, stop drinking. He said, no, how drunk can you get? That's number 3. Look at me.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
imagine that you're living in a house where all of the orgy partners are living. So it's like, come to bed. No, we'll send your sister.
Satan said, fuck your sister. Bring her here. Like, what?
Sarah
It's just
Betty
awesome.
Northrup, who'd been initiated into the OTO only months after the Parsons themselves.
Now, this is an important name. Sarah Northrup.
Although his wife had been supportive of an open marriage for religious reasons, this affair had crossed a personal boundary. Residents of the mansion reported arguments between the two of them that could be heard throughout the house. Jack would describe this broken boundary as his, quote, magical confirmation in the law of Thelema. Inside the pages of the
All right, folks. Now for the main event.
Pasadena Star News, he
Man's
posted the
bicycle.
following advertisement.
Classified
Rooms for
advertising.
rent limited to bohemians, poets, artists, students. Between 21 and 30, no bourgeois, Christians, or Bulgarians. Although outside the specified age range, one of the new residents of the mansion would be a charismatic 34-year-old naval lieutenant named Lafayette Ron Hubbard. At the time, military records show Hubbard on a convalescent leave from the Navy, and he'd come to the mansion adorned in military pins and medals, telling stories of valor from his service in the war.
Now you understand why I felt the need to tell the whole story behind the introduction to L. Ron Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard moved into the mansion of, or what should we call it? Just the sex orgy mansion?
Sex house.
Sex house? I like
the
that.
Church of Thelema is what I believe they would call it. Is that the same thing you're talking about? Like that building where they were having their massive...
No. Jack Parsons' home. He built a mansion that became now the Thelemic headquarters.
The headquarters is the word I was looking for.
And
not
people
the church. Sorry,
were now living there.
Yeah. And now Lafayette Ron Hubbard
Yeah, I didn't know
has
that
just
when I
moved
stood
in.
for it. Yeah.
Yes. He moves into the mansion. And do you think he resisted the sex orgies?
Why do you think he fucking moved in?
Yeah, I mean, when in the fuck dungeon, you gotta by the rules of the fuck dungeon. You know.
Let's hear what happened as I start the video.
The cock mansion, if you will.
Shout out the cock mansion.
Yeah,
Get it all out.
I'm done.
God.
I'll wait. I got my eye on you, Corp.
More like Moron Hubbard.
But did y'all see the
I stole
bicycle
that
for
from-
$25? And I kind of wonder how much that fridge was going for.
Hubbard had achieved minor celebrity status as a fiction author, whose work appeared frequently in popular fantasy magazines with over 150 publications to his name. His list of accomplishments also included membership in the Explorers Club, with Hubbard boasting of many globe-trotting adventures which inspired the exotic settings in his stories.
Who else was an explorer?
Dora. Yes. Thanks.
You win. Aleister Crowley. He was a mountaineer. And what did Jack Parsons love to read as a child along with Steven Spielberg and Richard Donner? Science fiction novels.
I've slept with bandits in Mongolia, and I've hunted with pygmies in the Philippines. And my conclusions were that man, regardless of his state of culture, was essentially the same. He was a spiritual being.
Not long after Hubbard moved into the mansion, Jack wrote Aleister Crowley to inform him of the new tenant. He is a gentleman, red hair, green eyes, honest and intelligent, and we have become great friends. Although he has no formal training in magic, he has an extraordinary amount of experience and understanding in the field. From some of his experiences, I deduce he is in direct touch with some higher intelligence, possibly his guardian angel. Biographical accounts of their introduction state that the two likely met at a local convention of science fiction writers, where Jack was known to frequent as an avid fan of the genre, and where Hubbard, one of the group's most prolific authors, had established a reputation as a hypnotist.
Nerds.
Ron Hubbard came to our club, and he hypnotized all of the members except me. I wanted to remain in present time and watch what was going on. And I remember it was fascinating. He told one boy that he had a little kangaroo in the palm of his hands, and the boy was going all around showing everybody his little kangaroo that was hopping around.
He is the most Thelemic person I have ever met, and is in complete accord with our own principles. Their friendship formed at an opportune time for Jack, as his promotion to the head of the Los Angeles Church of Thelema granted him access to some of the OTO's most closely guarded secrets, those which fell into the category of sexual magic. According to OTO instructions, this type of magic would combine in sensations of erotic ecstasy with the intense focus and will that Jack had cultivated through years of magical training, allowing him to invoke a higher class of spiritual entities. Although there is no official record of Hubbard joining either the OTO or the AA, by January of 1946, Jack judged his new housemate to be Thelemic enough to include him in what would become his most advanced magical project to date.
So this is where... Oh, no, Sperg left. All right. Well, Sperg was asking about... Oh, Sperg, when you're asking about his commitment to it, this is exactly what I wanted to get to, where I believe that this particular story is going to show how committed and devoted he was to it, and that he might have really been a true believer, that this was all real.
When he said, or just now he mentioned, he's like, "Oh, I'm trying to invoke a higher class of demon." It's like, no, he's involved. He's buying into this 100%.
100%. I mean, I have to believe it. Yeah. So listen to this. This is crazy.
Parsons and Hubbard set out to accomplish a rigorous series of magical ceremonies called the Babylon Working, which was an attempt to magically fertilize a, quote, magical child through immaculate conception to bring about a messiah to the occult system of Thelema.
Essentially, they are trying to bring about a goddess into the real world to give her the opportunity to be impregnated with the Antichrist. That is what this revolves around. Stewiefeldt, thank you for the $5. This is the good old days people are talking about. Imagine the crazy stuff you could get people to do. No shit. That is everything that we are about here at Skeptical Robot. I'd
argue it's worse now.
What can you get people to do?
For this invocation, the two would spend days in the desert following chants and rituals created by Crowley in an effort to bring forth a goddess named Babylon onto Earth in human form. According to Thelema, Babylon is described as being the great mother of the earth and a symbol of sexually liberated women. No. The elemental Jack intended to summon would be from the element of air, also known as a sylph. For his purposes, this entity would serve as a sexual partner for the second phase of his operation. At the time this project began, his wife Helen had left the mansion to join their excommunicated leader, and Jack's sister-in-law Betty had begun to prefer the company of their new housemate.
So now, the little sister that Jack had left his wife for is now leaving Jack for L. Ron Hubbard.
Parsons and his girlfriend, Sarah, were in an open relationship according to the sexual ethics set out by their belief in Thelema. However, Jack became intensely jealous when he learned that Sarah had become enamored with Hubbard. Correspondence between church members attests that Betty and Hubbard would often display their newfound physical connection in front of Jack.
They would fuck in front of Jack.
Dude.
Because they were all living under the same roof. Yes. This pioneer of rocket science, multimillionaire, brings all these people in to celebrate Aleister Crowley, and it all turns on him.
Well, see, it shouldn't, because by his own beliefs, he should just be able to let that jealousy go, right? But nobody can let that go.
Right.
If they're banging right in front of you 5 feet away, no.
He should, or he should like have a spell to like make them disappear. Something.
And to constantly rein in his jealousy in order to focus on the experiment. Although Betty and I are still friendly, Jack reported to Crowley, she has transferred her sexual affections to Hubbard.
According to Jack's diary, his ritual for summoning an elemental would employ a type of magic dating back to the 16th century, designed by Dr. John Dee.
So this is the ritual about bringing forth that goddess that he chose Hubbard to help him with. And tell me what you pick up on here.
Court astrologer to Queen Elizabeth I. It involved a language known as Enochian speech, which, when spoken, would allow the magician to communicate with the angelic beings governing the elements. The process of putting this magic into practice was complex, as Jack's diary reveals a procedure consisting of 11 individual rituals. The final and most important step of the process, in accordance with the OTO's technique of sexual magic, would be for Jack to place his own substance, euphemistically called the marrow of the wand, onto the letters of his elemental's name.
That's fine.
Fuck yeah. Shout out to the fucking marrow of the wand, brother.
Let me translate.
Nothing needed. I'm texting this to a lady right now. What are you doing this weekend? This is the marrow of the wand?
Marrow of the
wand. I'm gonna update my Tinder.
Jack and Hubbard go out
Jack's
into the
diary
desert.
shows a repetition of this working for several consecutive days.
To jerk
Although
off
the element of air seemed to have
together.
manifested in the form of a violent windstorm, no elemental presented itself. I have been extremely careful and conscientious in this ritual, lending all my will and scientific training to its precision and preparation. Yet nothing seems to have happened.
That's what they were doing. The ritual involved them cranking it out together.
J.O. bros.
Yeah.
The guy who's now sleeping with his, well, I guess she's not his wife yet, but his girlfriend, and doing it in front of him, he says, I'm picking you to jerk off with me in the desert.
Eskimo brothers.
The windstorm
You know
is
what I'm
very
saying?
interesting, but that's not what I asked for.
Didn't they watch Ghostbusters?
After invocation, Hubbard would read the psychic energy of the room, with Jack identifying him in his diary as the operation's seer and scribe. And on the 14th night of the operation, a
Superwood.
young woman
Yikes.
appeared at the mansion's doorstep.
Really? I would.
So now he believes he's lost his girlfriend to Hubbard, and he meets somebody new.
I seem to have my elemental, Jack wrote to Crowley. She turned up one night after the conclusion of the operation and has been with me since. She has red hair and green eyes as specified.
So he believes that now he's been given the spiritual seed to impregnate someone to bring the goddess who will eventually give birth to the Antichrist. Are you following this? Because I get that it's weird.
I appreciate that he jacked up with his friend and just called it an operation.
He called it a spell.
And also, with green eyes makes me think of Big Trouble in Little China. Like she has
Oh
green
yeah,
eyes.
that's funny. God, yeah, that is funny. Big Trouble in Little China is more believable than this.
The woman who Jack believed to be his elemental was 24-year-old Marjorie Cameron. And like Jack, she had assisted in the American war effort, serving as a cartographer for the women's division of the Navy.
Parsons immediately fell in love with her, believing that she was the manifestation of Babylon that he had invoked. He believed that Marjorie was his soulmate, and the two were so intensely attracted to one another that they allegedly spent 2 weeks making love non-stop. They would later be married in October
Cap.
of that same year.
Bro, come on.
That's the one part of this story that's
bullshit,
unbelievable.
bro.
You should hear all the stuff in my journal. That's not 2 weeks. This guy's a pussy.
Yeah. I made sex for 7 years. Like, did you say
I jerked
made
off and
sex?
gave birth to Chuck Norris.
I see that
After
picture.
the
She has
war-
that constant face, like fucking I Love Lucy. Ew. That's all I see.
That's what I keep seeing too.
When they said 24, I was like, I seriously thought this woman was 55 years old.
No, that's
Yes.
24 and Babylon years, apparently. So, it's not her Earth years. It's 24 goddess years.
All right, folks, you want to get weirder?
Or she received
doing
an
it.
honorable discharge and relocated to Los Angeles, finding work
Speaking
as a
of
fashion
discharge.
magazine illustrator. According to her, she had met Jack while accompanying a group of friends to a party at the mansion, where the two formed an immediate romantic connection. But from Jack's perspective, Marjorie had been sent to fulfill a key role in the second phase of his operation, the invocation of the goddess Babylon. Originally appearing in the Book of Revelation, Babylon is prophesied as a harbinger of the apocalypse and is described as a harlot riding atop a seven-headed beast, holding a golden chalice filled with the filth of her fornication.
References to the apocalyptic characters in Revelation.
The wording is amazing.
I wish Latanya Vegas was here to hear that.
Yeah.
I think she would have laughed at that.
I think she
Mr.
could've
Blue
used that.
Sky,
You know what I mean?
thank you for the Norwegian Kroner 20 Operation Vapor Tips. Thank you very much.
Are found throughout Thelema, with Crowley himself named in the Book of the Law as holding the office of the Beast 666, a title which he would adopt as the signature for much of his correspondence.
So normally, if someone is functioning as a seer, then one would expect either a second person to be taking down the notes, functioning as the scribe, or the magician would be doing so. For Hubbard appears to be engaged in some form of automatic writing, with Jack providing him with prompts.
So basically, they would hold these rituals, and they needed someone to write down what the spirits were saying, and that was Hubbard's job, was to write down what he was getting from the spirits.
But the prophecy that Hubbard relayed was foreboding. Babylon's incarnation would be contingent upon Jack becoming, quote, living flame. She is the flame of life, power of darkness. She destroys with a glance. She
So
may
these
take thy
are
soul.
Hubbard's words.
She feeds upon the death of men. Beautiful, horrible. One mysterious portion of the prophecy Jack chose not to transcribe. After Jack's secret life was discovered, he was fired from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Jack was to remain completely undistracted from his devotion to Babylon until the time of her arrival, or the incarnation would be in danger of failure. But only weeks
If
after
she
the
finds
conclusion
out
of the
about this,
operation,
she ain't gonna be down.
Yeah.
You gotta keep her enamored.
I feel
was
like that
presented-
wording with the fire and all that just means that he got like an STD and it was burning when he peed. It's just like,
This is the red lady.
yeah.
In hindsight, it's going to kind of sound. You'll see.
with a unique business
Do you think
proposition.
that was like a power move from like Jack to L. Ron Hubbard? Like, hey, you be the secretary. Like you took my woman, and like now, like you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, by the way, the girl you just took from me, she's the chosen one to be sacrificed to the fucking lambs. You're like, God
it's like-
damn it,
it's
how
like, yeah,
this
I'm
happen?
gonna pick up this puss. You pick up the pencil.
Motherfucker. Shout out to Steve J. By the way, I just quickly was thinking the exact same thing the whole time of this. This is literally Melisandre from and Stannis from Game of Thrones representation.
We're not nerds here. We don't know what that means.
Yes, Stevie J, you fucking loser.
All right.
I got it completely.
I'm going to ask you guys to listen to this.
Living
okay?
flame. She is the flame of life, power of darkness.
I had to rewind it a little
She destroys
bit.
with a glance. She may take thy soul. She feeds upon the death of men. Beautiful, horrible. One mysterious portion of the prophecy Jack chose not to transcribe. After Jack's secret life was discovered, he was fired from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Jack was to remain completely undistracted from his devotion to Babylon until the time of her arrival, or the incarnation would be in danger of failure. But only weeks after the conclusion of the operation, he was presented with a unique business proposition. The demand for sailing yachts in California was high, but the supply was low, and Hubbard, being a master seaman, had devised a way for Jack to take advantage of this opportunity. With a bit of upfront capital, Hubbard and Betty would travel from Pasadena to Miami, purchase 3 yachts where they were in high supply, hire a team to sail them back to California via the Panama Canal, and sell them for a profit.
Okay, we hear all that. He asked for some upfront cash for a business proposition in which he would get 3 boats in the Panama or in Cuba, I think he was in Florida, and then
Miami, yeah.
and then sell them in California for a profit.
Their partnership
Nina,
would be
the Pinta, and the
called
Santa Maria?
Allied Enterprises, and when the final arrangements were made, Hubbard had supplied about $1,200 of seed money, but Jack's contribution was nearly $21,000, which amounts to over $340,000 in today's currency. Although Jack likely had some money left from the sale of his Aerojet shares, biographical accounts attest that most of his money came from selling the mansion, with Jack moving into a small carriage house down the street.
He sells his house to give the money to Hubbard to buy the boats.
Expected this temporary sacrifice to be more than compensated for by their resulting profits. But in the meantime, he had effectively closed the only operating OTO temple. A feature in the Miami Daily News showed Hubbard and Betty having arrived in Miami as they prepared their newly acquired sailing vessels for what Hubbard described as an indefinite voyage. According to an
Did you hear that?
Wait a minute. So guy who loses his girlfriend to other guy buys that guy a boat, like sells all the shit and buys him a boat for him to take off with his girl that left him for this guy?
official request sent to the U.S. Naval offices, Hubbard did not intend to take the boats back to Pasadena, but to sail to South America and China for the purpose of collecting writing material.
He takes the boats and hits the seas and takes Jack's money and never gives it back.
He basically cleaned them out.
The business venture reached Alistair Crowley, he sent an urgent telegram to Los Angeles, declaring Jack the victim of a confidence trick. Records kept by the Miami courthouse show that Parsons attempted to correct his misjudgment by following Betty and Hubbard to Florida to issue a restraining order preventing them from leaving the jurisdiction with the boats. But upon his arrival, Hubbard and Betty fled by sailing into the Atlantic Ocean. Hubbard...
Matt Hibner, LRH was a con man. We're missing huge chunks of context here. We're getting to it. We know he's a con man. This is all about him being a con man.
No,
we're getting
trying
there.
to sign people up to fucking Scientology tonight. There's going to be a link at the end of the show. You use it.
We're getting there.
This
is the chronological story of how L. Ron Hubbard became what we know him as L. Ron Hubbard. Yes.
I want to know who bought that mansion. Like
Led Zeppelin.
With the amount of rope that was thrown around there, you think you buy it sight unseen? Like, there's no way you're going to let somebody walk through that before they buy
That's
it. Right?
Aleister Crowley's old house that they moved into, right?
It was actually, yes. No. It was Jack Parsons' house.
Who bought it from Jack?
No, Jack Parsons.
Okay.
No, Jack Parsons and Aleister Crowley never actually met in real life. Aleister Crowley was in Europe this entire time. This all happened in Los Angeles.
Over Zoom. Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
Stewie felt that's some Han Solo stuff right there. Thank you for the
Legit.
$2.
Legit.
by sailing at 5 p.m., and I performed a full invocation to Bartzelbill within the circle at 8 p.m. At the same time, his ship was struck by a sudden squall off the coast, which ripped off his sails and forced him back to port, where I took the boat into custody. However, I am afraid that most of the money has already been dissipated. I will be lucky to salvage $3,000 to $5,000. In the interim, I am flat broke.
So he completely destroyed Jack Parsons and all the money he had. L. Ron Hubbard takes off with the boats.
In December of 1947, headlines around the world announced the death of Aleister Crowley at the age of 72, following a long struggle with bronchitis and opium addiction.
Yeah, I guess we can talk about it now. Stewie felt, if not addressed, I'm going to look up the mansion. The mansion was actually bought to be destroyed. And they put up an apartment complex.
Although Jack and Crowley never had the opportunity to meet in person, their frequent correspondence demonstrates a close paternal bond, with Jack addressing his mentor as beloved father and signing off as thy son. But at the end of his life, Crowley's final statement regarding Jack was one of disappointment. About Jack Parsons, all I can say is that I am sorry. He was led astray firstly by Smith, then by a confidence man named Hubbard. He is just a weak-minded fool and must go to the devil in his own way.
So at the end of it, he says, that Jack Parsons guy can suck a dick.
As the 1940s neared its end, Jack's misfortune was only beginning. Members of the Caltech Rocketeers who had helped secure an Allied victory in the war were coming under suspicion for un-American activities. Within Caltech had been a club of communists, led by a Russian-born physicist named Sidney Weinbaum, who'd been known to recruit graduate students to join the American Communist Party.
Yeah.
An FBI investigation revealed that Frank Molina, the leader of the Caltech Rocketeers, had joined the party under a pseudonym. Other members of the original Suicide Squad who'd attended these meetings were also stripped of their security clearance and removed from the jet propulsion lab they had helped to create. Parsons admitted to the FBI that he'd previously attended meetings of the Sidney Weinbaum Club out of intellectual curiosity. But the Bureau's investigation into Jack's political past would ultimately seize upon a different, controversial ideology. Among his colleagues at Caltech, Jack was discovered to have been circulating a single-page political thesis authored by Aleister Crowley, which bore the title Liber Oz.
So in the Un-American Activities investigation, they find out that Jack was circulating a pamphlet written by Aleister Crowley, and they deemed him a communist.
Is a concise statement of what Crowley believed to be the rights of human beings. It's inherently assertive and even aggressive about those rights. Not saying these are the things that you should go out and do, but these are the things that a human can go out and claim as one rights. Someone's going to get into trouble about Liber Oz. It's usually that there is a clause in there that says man has the right to kill those who would thwart these rights.
Jack's FBI file states that he had been working in high-security roles for American aircraft companies in the years following his expulsion from JPL and Aerojet. But having been labeled subversives, Jack wrote that his security clearance had been revoked and his career in jeopardy. In September of 1948, I was suspended from all my activities on charges which included activity in the OTO and the circulation of Liber Oz. Jack's personal life was equally fraught with failure. He had dissolved his first marriage with Helen so that he could marry Marjorie Cameron. But correspondence shows that the two would often go months without seeing each other, as Marjorie pursued her art career in various cities across the U.S. Although she had become pregnant during the Babylon working, biographies state that she terminated the pregnancy while away from Jack on a trip to New York.
So his whole Babylon working was to get her pregnant, and she has an abortion.
Nice.
The 9-month window for Babylon's incarnation had
Abortions.
passed with no evidence of her arrival.
She killed the Antichrist. Make that woman a saint.
By autumn of 1948,
Corny
Jack's
bastard.
scientific contribution to the growing field of rocketry had been disregarded, as he found himself barred from government work and employed as a filling attendant at a local gas station.
He's now working at a gas station.
Damn.
He was 34 years old.
Fall from grace.
That's not a
He
goal.
wrote
That's
that he had
irony,
arrived
right?
at a
Like he's
choice
like
between
invented
three
jet fuel and now he's pumping gas.
Yeah.
alternatives: madness, suicide, and something Thelemites call crossing the
All right, this is important here.
abyss.
Did they say he was only 34? I'm sorry.
Yep.
The concept of the
God.
abyss in Crowley's system is that there is this
So he
abyss
says that he's confronted with 3 ideas, which is, suicide, I forget what the other one was, or something that the Thelemites say, crossing the abyss. Okay?
I've heard of this.
between everyday human consciousness and superconsciousness. The abyss is considered one of the final steps a magician can take to achieve full realization of the true will. It would be the culmination of 10 years of magical training and represent Jack's highest form of devotion to the goddess Babylon. With his crossing of the abyss, he was seeking a revelation and the authority and direction for the next stage of his life work and the wider destiny of mankind. The abyss is often cited as the curriculum's most dangerous phase due to the vulnerable mental state the magician places himself in upon entering.
Anyone else find it weird that they're working with fuels and he's smoking a cigarette?
Some sources indicate the journey through the abyss involves invoking the 4 princes of hell, with the magician asserting their own willpower as the superior cosmic force. But according to Thelemic lore, the real danger of the abyss lies in the oath the magician swears upon entering.
The oath of the abyss, to paraphrase it, is a swearing that you will take everything that happens as a direct communication of the divine with your soul. That means everything. So the usual interpretation is that at that point you commit yourself to be stark raving paranoid. Everything you notice is somebody telling you something. The warning is that you can go crazy from taking this oath.
Jack's diary claims that on Halloween of
Remember that.
1948, he retreated to the Mojave Desert and remained there in solitude for 40 days. Certainly the crossing of the abyss is a significant spiritual endeavor, which can provoke symptoms which look very much like psychosis, is very fragile and a dangerous state, which is why, outside of the
This dude
magical
creeps me out
traditions
more than
we
a lot
have,
of this.
Dude, totally. This guy
Yep.
has kids in his fucking basement. Shout out to them ripping off Jesus with the 40 days thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hide in the fucking desert for 40 days. Like, yo, Jesus did that first. Fuck off.
This guy actually
Moses.
claims to be
Moses.
still operating the Thelemic religion ceremonies, like some whatever.
But sure, that's what he tells all the homeless girls.
Yeah.
But tells the kids' parents.
Okay, it has gotten so complicated and so convoluted, I know, but I promise everything that we've heard is going to have a reason why we left it in here.
on spiritual paths, retreating to monasteries to be gently taken through these difficult processes. After his return, he wrote that he had taken the oath and entered the abyss. At present, I have entered magical regions where there is no possibility of outside help or assistance.
We have the idea of a bridge across the chasm. Now, that is an old mystic idea that there was a chasm. There was a chasm between this existence, where we are now, and a higher plateau of existence, and that many people trying to make it fell into the abyss. Well,
He stole the entire idea from Aleister Crowley.
we've built a bridge, and the bridge goes from this state of existence to that state of existence. And the bridge is all complete now, and it can be walked.
Although Jack would never see L. Ron Hubbard in person again, his activities in the ensuing years were well known to the public. Yes, I had been able to handle some human beings in such a way as to produce a new state of being. Hubbard had introduced his own method.
Is that
for
him
achieving-
talking?
No, I put some AI on some of the voices.
Oh my God.
I didn't know it changed Ron Hubbard's voice.
higher
Sorry.
states of consciousness.
Yeah,
He
sure.
called it dynamics. It didn't involve ritual magic, but instead focused on eliminating engrams, traumatic memories that lurk inside the cells of the body, causing sickness and psychological impairments.
So he took all of the spiritual elements of Aleister Crowley and simply gave them sci-fi elements of saying, instead of spirits, now we're talking about aliens. And
Yep.
it's all the same.
We are victimized in this society by many of these engrams. There are certain standard ones that run through the society. Hubbard claimed to have discovered a new type of auditing therapy, which puts the subject into a hypnotic trance and transforms their mind by identifying these engrams and exhausting their power.
Is he saying N is in Nancy?
It's engrams. ENGRAMS.
These
That's
fucking
his
engrams
word.
are fucking shit up. I'm like, oh, what the hell is happening?
These N were
Fucking engrams are out of control. You're like, what?
Stewie Felt, thank you for the $5. This guy is proof of what a buddy of mine said once. You start shaving your head, all the freaks come running.
Your buddy's a wise man, Stewie Felt. Wise man.
Yes.
All these engrams bring down my property value.
I can hear everything, but I got to run and grab a drink.
All right.
From 1 to 5, the first words of the engram will flash into your mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't relax, roll again. You can't relax, roll again. You can't relax, roll it again. You can't relax, go again.
This is what we're listening to is a typical auditing session where what it's actually doing is just simply getting your brain essentially relaxed to respond to stimuli.
You can't relax, go again. You can't relax, go ahead. You can't relax, go ahead.
That's not a glitch. That's really them talking.
Can't relax. Hubbard claimed auditing sessions could raise a person's IQ by as many as 26 points, as well as cure nearly any illness, including poor eyesight. Many journalists began accusing him of orchestrating a hoax or a scam. Several medical professionals called Hubbard's version of psychotherapy potentially dangerous to a person's psyche, but Dianetics only rose in popularity. Advertisements for auditing sessions soon populated newspapers across the country. Training workshops were established to teach applicants to audit their own patients. And within its first year of operation, Dianetics had made over $1 million in revenue. Headlines were calling it the fastest growing movement in America.
This plan has been worked out for quite a long period of time. It's been very successful, and these states are attainable, and they walk forward.
Hubbard claimed his system offered the only safe passage into the realm of superconsciousness, and those who attempted to cross by any other means were doomed to fall into the abyss below.
That's the bridge. That's the abyss.
Gatekeeping.
Jack's own journey through the abyss was having a unique effect on his psychological state, as evidenced in his writing. Everything is dead now except the body and the will. Jack wrote of his progress through the abyss, and it is my will that the body survive to do that will. By mid-1949, Jack successfully argued the loss of his security clearance in a closed court, reinstating his access to classified material. Newspaper reports show that he obtained a permit to start his own explosives facility, called Parsons Chemical Manufacturing. Side work was found in the special effects departments of film studios, building what is known as squibs, small explosive
He was a pioneer of squibs.
Whoa.
devices worn
That's
under an
crazy.
actor's costume
hell
to
is
simulate
squibs?
a gunshot.
There you go. Listen. Oh, did you hear
Jack's
that?
ambition was to
And
explosive devices worn under an actor's costume to simulate a gunshot. Jack's ambition was to re-enter the field of rocketry, but the landscape had shifted since the end of the war.
the German rocket team under Werner von Braun is brought to the U.S., the Caltech.
Are you happy now, XCorp?
You came back just in time.
Rocketeers
the
and the
excellent
German
scientists.
Rocketeers worked together for a short period of time at White Sands.
Germans.
During the
They worked with the Caltech team.
McCarthy era of the 1940s and 50s,
My point was always the Nazis were only half the story.
many of Parsons' former colleagues lost their security clearances and jobs as a result, and eventually the FBI stripped Parsons of his clearance because of his, quote, subversive character, including his involvement in and advocacy of, quote, sexual perversion. After testifying in a federal court that he was not a communist and that the moral philosophy of Thelema was anti-communist, Parsons was able to have his security clearance reinstated, which would allow him to work for a new business, the Hughes Aircraft Company. In the face of ongoing political investigations and slowly being replaced by their wartime enemies, many of Jack's former colleagues would leave the United States altogether, beginning with their leader, Frank Molina. The prospect of leaving the United States in search of better opportunities also appealed to Jack, and in 1950 he was offered the opportunity to relocate to the new state of Israel as part of their developing rocket program. But Jack's career would never get its second wind. During his application to the Israeli rocket program, he submitted copies of his own research that had been labeled classified. His own secretary...
In his application, he submitted classified documents to the Israeli rocket, what do they call it? Rocket project? So he felt, thank you for the $5. It's like if Isaac Asimov started a religion about psychohistory instead of writing Foundation. It's crazy. And a lot of people just don't know this story.
notified the FBI.
Oh, yeah. So Jack's secretary saw it and notifies the FBI.
And Jack's security clearance was again revoked, and an investigation into possible espionage was opened.
Hope he fired his fucking secretary.
In November of 1950, Parsons was investigated again after taking documents from Hughes Aircraft Company because he was suspected of providing the USSR with secrets about rocket engines. When Jack learned that he was being investigated, he reached out to the FBI to explain himself. He told the FBI that he did take the documents, but it was in an effort to prove the work that he had performed in order to apply for a job in Israel. Unfortunately,
so they somehow make the leap that was actually trying to be a spy for the USSR, but he's simply saying, look, I had to prove that I did this, which I guess there's an argument
so
there.
I can become a spy for Israel, you fucks. Like, come on, like, hey, relax.
Yeah.
Same team, same dream, US.
But still, you were smart enough to know to not send classified documents.
Fortunately, his explanation ruined his reputation. In addition to losing his job with Hughes Aircraft Company, he was now suspected of being a spy for Israel. And
Matt Hibner, this is really the Jack Parsons episode. Yeah, I said this is a prologue to the L. Ron Hubbard story. This is going to be the first episode. You have to tell the full story.
Have you seen how we did the Amityville?
Amityville took 9 hours.
from ever getting another job in the field of aeronautics.
Is that
It
how
turned-
long this one's gonna take?
we got 4 minutes left of this video package.
Turns out that the FBI had been keeping tabs on Jack Parsons since 1948 because of his relationship with Aleister Crowley, whom the FBI considered to be subversive and dangerous. Parsons' career was over. Without a security clearance, Parsons was not able to work in aeronautics. He occasionally worked on Hollywood movie sets as an explosion consultant, but work was inconsistent. Parsons resorted to working the night shift at a gas station. In June of 1952, Jack received a request to rush the creation of several explosives for a movie. Soon after he began to work on creating the explosives in his home laboratory, Jack's lab exploded. When he was found, he was still alive, but half of his face had been blown off, his right arm was severed, and both legs, as well as his left arm, were broken. He was taken to the hospital where he died shortly after. He was 37 years old. Some conspiracy theories speculate that Parsons was assassinated, but evidence has suggested that Jack was merely careless as he poured chemicals into an empty coffee can that fell to the ground and exploded.
Does anyone remember what was said by L. Ron Hubbard in the scriptures that he wrote about Jack Parsons becoming fire.
Right. He said his body will be in flame.
Just
Or
throwing that
something
out
like yeah, I'm pretty sure that
And then
I'm misquoting
set off a
it.
chain reaction of additional explosions due to
So you're
the
saying
other
he's a
explosive
prophet?
chemicals in Jack's laboratory.
Some people think L. Ron Hubbard had Jack Parsons murdered.
These things we know in Dianetics. We know, in short, the bugs that gets into the machine. We can troubleshoot the machine.
L. Ron Hubbard's Dianetics would change its name to the Church of Scientology and continue along its trajectory of becoming one of the most popular fringe religions in the world. And he would use this boat business to create a naval-themed branch of that religion called the Sea Org.
And what do you think he started it with? The three
The three
boats that he stole from Jack Parsons. All right, Matt Hibner.
Right. No, see, that's I
It
get it.
all
Like that's
came together. This is
That's
also
what I mean.
only the first episode.
Oh my god.
But listen,
no, Jack Parsons
Oh, go
like
ahead.
grew L. I'm sorry. Yeah, Jack Parsons grew L. Ron Hubbard unintentionally. Like this guy, his entire life set L. Ron Hubbard up.
he planted the seed of what we learned was L. Ron
Literally.
Hubbard. But guess what? Scientologists know this story. And they've even acknowledged it.
Side note, in December of 1969, the Sunday Times published an article about Hubbard's involvement with Parsons' occult activities, the details of which were not previously known to members of Scientology. In response, the Church of Scientology released an unsubstantiated press statement which said that Hubbard had been sent as an undercover agent by the U.S. Navy to intercept and destroy Parsons' quote, black magic cult.
What?
They claimed that he was working for the for the U.S. Navy for some reason to infiltrate and destroy the black magic cult.
And to save Sarah Hollister from the cult's influence. Quote,
They really said this, and this is the article in which they said it.
quote, Hubbard's mission was successful far beyond anyone's expectations. The house was torn down. Hubbard rescued a girl they were using. The black magic group was dispersed and destroyed and has never recovered. In December of 1958, Jet Propulsion Laboratory was integrated into the newly established National Aeronautics and Space Administration.
It all comes together. Corp, Hibner, everyone who doubted that, that this story had a point and a reason for being as long as it was. I get it, but it's all important.
Which went on to conduct the
They
first
used a
orbital
little bit of
space
that
flights.
same shitty. Remember, I made a comment to how shitty his fucking graphic design was. The Aerojet.
Yes.
They incorporated that A from the Aerojet in it. In NASA.
In NASA, yeah.
And what contribution did Jack Parsons give to NASA?
Personic flights, and then the first human spaceflight to the surface of the moon, all directly due to Parsons' innovation in rocket technology. In the decades following his death,
Can I just
Parsons'
challenge this
contributions
thought,
to the
just as
science
like
of
a thought
aeronautics
experiment
were mostly
quickly?
unacknowledged by government agencies due to the affairs.
Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Just the guy who was like doing stuff for movies and perception. It's like, and this is how we got to the moon. It's like, what? He
had
was
already
doing explosions for movies.
Later. Yes, later. But he had developed the jet-propelled rocket for the military with the Suicide Squad before he was discredited, or I should say, not discredited. What should I say? I guess discredited is the right
Banned?
word. Yeah.
Blackballed?
Banned. Yeah, there you go. Blacklisted and had his God, why am I blanking on words tonight? Security access denied. Stewie felt
Allegedly made all that shit though, because it's like he was like a kind of a liar about everything else, and it's like, but he made rockets that got us to the moon. We're like, what?
what else did he lie about?
Everything.
That's what I mean. Like he believed all like the things that we would call like bullshit. He was believing it. He was cutting himself for the devil and hoping it was paying off. And
so,
you got to pay
XCorp,
the dues.
are you saying XCorp that he didn't really believe that stuff?
Are you saying that that it is real, the devil stuff?
Answer
In his
the question.
in his
We're doing
mind.
this again. Hold on.
Hi,
Street fell,
Poppers.
$5. I was in the Navy. We were always fighting cults and demons. All right. XCorp. Again, I just don't understand what you're asking. This has been acknowledged by a lot of people that this really happened. So what part
Yeah,
is it
I'm
that-
asking, like,
Yeah.
do you think he, like he's believing in a lot of the occult stuff, right?
Right.
Which is a little nuts,
Right.
right? And then, but all the other stuff that he is doing is all like he's legit in every way, except he was just believing in some Satan shit.
What other stuff? What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm buying it. He was a real scientist who
but I
did
don't
real
understand
scientist shit.
what other. Are you
And
saying his scientific stuff? Yes, it was developed, and I mean, as far as we understand, he and two other people were the contributors to what we know to become modern rocket fuel.
Allegedly.
I'm fine. I'm fine with putting allegedly on it. That's fine.
Nature of Jack's personal life. However, his legacy has been undeniable as he was able to accomplish his goal of creating science that would take man into space. So, just maybe, his magic spells worked.
To be continued. So I believe that was important to explain the context of who L. Ron Hubbard eventually becomes and how we understand him and know him. Now,
Dude, I'm blown away.
Same.
That's a crazy story, right?
Yeah.
For those of us who believe it.
No, crazy story. I believe it. I'm just, like I said, for me, it like just draws a little to the story of a guy who helped propel an organization like NASA, had a way of misunderstanding and using sensationalism in things that he did to manipulate perception.
Of what?
I gave up on this a long time ago. Luigi.
I know. I'm with Corn.
Since he wasn't a celebrity, what's sensationalism?
He sounds a little fraudulent in other areas of his life, so it's like
That's you know what? Okay, hold on. You know
how
what?
Do you not think
That's
that he's
fair.
not fraudulent in other areas? Like, how do you just like? I just don't understand how it's just blanket. Like, well, at least he did this.
hold on.
Because
Playing devil's
nothing's been
advocate,
disproven.
Hold on, just because someone's fraudulent in, I guess, multiple areas in this case, doesn't mean they're not legit in others, though.
But here's the
Can't
thing.
rule that out.
Yeah, I can understand an issue of credibility. That I get. If you're saying that he was lying about something, then yes, you have to do somewhat of an analysis and stretching out credibility over other issues. Right. But that's the thing is, we don't have any evidence that he was lying about anything. We have evidence that he really believed what he believed. So that's all I can say is that without evidence that he lied about anything, what credibility can we give him? You know?
I mean, even if he did lie, you know, he could truthfully make jet fuel, but lie his way in some pussy at the same time. So
that's fair. We just
Been
don't know.
Yeah. Shout out to lying your way into some pussy.
I mean, we've all done it, but I still think I'm a smart guy. But still, the thing is, though, I get what you're saying is that you don't think that he really believed in the cult stuff. Is that what you're saying?
No, not at all, not at all. I think like that's a deeper area. Like if you go look into the N words, they had a real big taking into the occult.
Oh, okay.
Like Nazis were really big into the occult, so that's why it's like I'm just like maybe I'm drawing strings that aren't there, but it's like I said, I put a thesis out that NASA has been like they manipulate perception a little bit with the moon. Didn't seem real-ish, and like I said, I don't believe it. I'm putting this out as a scientific thought. So now when you're finding all the things out that are leading towards NASA's creation, where they're taking stuff from, they're getting into occult type of stuff. They're getting into stuff that was like, hey, let's use math and pentagrams to to manipulate opinion, and that stuff on one side of the fence seems crazy, but then when you come into how it's built and then maybe some other stuff that could be questionable, there's a credibility like aura in there. And I'm not saying like definite this proves, I'm just saying like it fucking gives me this weird like, fuck man, something's not right about something.
How about this? How about I relate it this way? And it's fine if you don't believe it. Just telling you what what all of the history books now have to acknowledge. But how about this? Jack Parsons was an advocate for the occult and a brilliant rocket scientist. The Nazis developed rockets and were advocates of the occult. So maybe there's a parallel there.
See, this is key. We're finding common grounds. That's what Jimmy Carter advocated for. You got to find common grounds here.
I frequently cite Jimmy Carter.
But see, Luigi, like to your point, like that's what's really making me like I am a skeptic, and
Yeah.
I do, but there is a level of mystery to the universe anyway. There's a point that our intelligence can only grasp so much, and I don't know what's outside of our own, human intelligence.
Can't argue
so
that.
when guys who are super duper smart, like rocket scientists or military minds or brains, are interested in things like this, it almost makes me want to legitimize what they're doing. Like, did those rituals work for them? If they were sacrificing cats, did that get them?
Hey,
Well, you saw them; they were holding them. It's not me. I would never.
It does defy logic, and I cannot overcome that leap of logic. I can't. But all I can do is just simply say that there's pictures of this guy doing this stuff. There's testimony of this guy doing stuff. There's lots of events that corroborate this guy doing
like
stuff.
the occult stuff. I'm fucking like I'm that for sure. The guy's into. Just saying, like I don't know. The occult stuff is weird when you get really into it. Like if you go down that Aleister Crowley rabbit hole a lot, like his influence in pop culture is just strange. Like I said, like and then to hear that like Scientology is kind of like a little offshoot in a way.
It's stolen.
It's stolen from that.
It's stolen.
Who's a Scientologist? Like who's their main demographic that we know?
idiots.
Celebrity idiots, but like celebrities, right? People with money in a place that they might have influence. So, like I said, it's just everything like gets in the fucking like it clouds itself in the bullshit pool. Like,
actually, I'm gonna disagree with that. That isn't their main demographic. That was actually a plan that was actually written down by L. Ron Hubbard that he specifically said we need to try to get more celebrities because people believe celebrities and they can endorse us. There are actually thousands of Scientologists who are not celebrities.
What?
It was really an issue. It was really an issue of trying to get endorsements from celebrities. So it's not their main demographic. I wouldn't say that.
Yes.
But
and it makes sense at the time too, because it's not like now where we know celebrities are all shitty.
Yes.
They still had credibility. Sorry.
Oh, no. Sorry. Thank you very much. Rumble Trenchcoat, a Columbo podcast. Thank you for the $10.
Thank you.
I have a pretty mentally intense job that I feel I do well. But yesterday, 2 hours after dinner, I found a couple of mushrooms in my shirt pocket that somehow fell in without my knowledge. It happens. And then I found cocaine in my pocket, a peyote tab in my back pocket. I get it. But no, there's so much.
My friend in the desert.
Yeah. There's so much to this story that, to your point, XCorp, does not make sense. I get it. Unfortunately, we just don't have any contrarian story to tell. Yeah. Ding Lizard, thank you for the €5. Parsons' invention was also the basis of jet-assisted takeoff. It was entirely that. It was the rockets that actually lifted the jets. Why do you guys like XCorp get confused when reality is weirder than their conspiracies?
Yeah, not my conspiracies. Once again, I'm like, I draw the line where I'm like, I just like to say that I question things. I'm not like reading a book and it's like, well, this is exactly what they want you to believe. Like, no, just like in a way, I just like as soon as I paint a brush at somebody with like you've lied and you've been caught lying, then it's like, and Alex Jones, like what you do. That's why I like your show so much. Like you call out frauds, but like man.
But what did he get caught lying about?
Not him, not him as much as NASA. NASA's my sus one. So it's like when you were talking about like the creation of NASA, and him having indirect influence and the Nazis. There's just a bunch of shit that gets involved. But Jack Parsons, no, like I'm with that. Just like I said,
okay. So you're okay. Now I think I'm getting what you're saying. So what you're saying is the influence of NASA. I never said I believed everything NASA said. I'm only talking about Jack Parsons.
Yeah,
and L. Ron
no,
Hubbard.
he's crazy.
Yeah.
And like
And
all the like a lot of the stuff I'm with Sperg Snake saying like, bro, it genuinely makes you wonder how much like credence there is to fucking some of this crazy shit. It's like, hey, this guy's doing 7 circles at sunset with his pants around his head, like.
I would not be surprised to find out that the federal government is trying to open a portal, like Stranger Things or some shit. You know what I mean? Like they're underneath a mall somewhere with this big fucking Stargate doing shit. I would not
they
be
already tried that.
shocked.
But they have to jerk off on it first.
That's the thing. That's what makes it weirder. Because
Cookie trying to get.
Ew. Just don't be the last.
Yes.
You know what's funny is I've thought about covering MK Ultra and the Montauk Project. Unfortunately, you never hear or read one solid timeline of events. Everyone has their own take on it and their own interpretation of it. It's a weird one where you're just like, well, who do I believe? And that's the only reason I've never really focused on it, because first off, I'm not totally into conspiracies, so I don't always just believe that there's something nefarious about it. Sure, I believe maybe it happened, but when you hear other people who weren't involved with it talk about it, I don't know that I can necessarily believe their takes on it when they conflict with other people's takes on it. Mm-hmm. So that's a weird one. However, one interesting one that I do find really fascinating, we're going to talk about one day, is the offshoot of MK Ultra that produced the Unabomber. You don't know that one. That's a weird one. And then also Project Wormwood. Look those up if you ever have a chance. Those are good.
Project Naomi.
I don't know that one.
Nice. It's good. It's about how they use TV waves.
Project Pat.
Nice.
Project Pat. Nice. You know, real quick to bounce off some Corp was saying how some of this stuff goes to like pop culture. I actually thought of a real recent reference when they were talking about the Abyss. I hope somebody gets this reference, whether it's here or in chat. Has anybody here played Cyberpunk 2077?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Abyss reminds me when you go into the net to meet Alt Cunningham. Think about that as like the Abyss, right?
Because it's very crazy. You can upload your consciousness or interact with other consciousnesses inside
like the internet.
a mainframe. Yeah.
And but if you stray too far, you can get lost and go into madness. So that's like the first thing I thought about when you did this.
Well, all this shit is like taken out of the Kabbalah. Like even the Crowley shit is stolen straight out of the Tree of Life. Shout out to the Kabbalah.
It is a mixture of Freemasonry and Kabbalah. Yes.
See, and that was another thing that I was thinking. It's like L. Ron Hubbard is standing on the shoulders of all these other guys. You know, like he's finally perfected what a cult could be.
Yep.
And it's working. Yes, doggy, I get it.
My dog's a big L. Ron Hubbard fan. As soon as you were giving us
L. Ron Hubbard is the attack command.
Big fan.
Yeah, right.
Who's talking
but like,
about
you know,
guy?
Oh shit, a dog.
He's like, it's cult 3.0 for him. He's got, you know, and it's perpetuating itself now.
Yes, he had people do it and fail at it, and he was able to learn from their mistakes and refine it. And we will cover that in our next episode and talk more about the prolific con man, L. Ron Hubbard. All right, folks. I know it's a long one. Thank you for sticking around. Sperg, I know you got to go. Please plug whatever you want.
Like anything but my butt.
Your dog wants you off, too.
Monday nights, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. I'm playing video games. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like tonight. Usually I will be hanging out on BYB doing karmic drama. Can't Come X is like my newest favorite thing, so hopefully he stops by one day.
Hey, you just let me you let me know when.
Yeah. I want to work something out.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's so much fun to do. Thank you for being here. Thank you for filling in. You're always great when you're on, and thank you for doing 2 weeks in a row, man. I appreciate it. Thank you
no
so
worries.
much.
I like being Chops' stunt beard.
Thank you so much, man. Have a good night.
Thanks, you guys too. I will see you in the next one.
Yes. Talk to you later. All right. Thank you. He actually has another show to be on, so want to get him out. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for all the contributions. You just being here is support enough. Thank you for being here. But let's wrap it up. And yes, L. Ron Hubbard Part 2 will be next week.
Nice.
So, XCorp, what would you like to plug, sir?
XCorporate on Twitch and SoundCloud. And if you see me there, I do workout streams and I just stuff. I don't know. Watch it and you'll find out. And then WGNM, but ask Corn, he'll tell you as well.
Thank you very much, sir. And
thank you for having me, brother. This was fun. And I appreciate you guiding me through a lot of this thing. Like I said, I'm just going down the line, but what you had today, I'm with that 100%. That was great. Well done. Way to tie them in together, tie them into how they lead into NASA. Fantastic.
I do apologize. I had no idea that you thought that I was trying to convince you of a contrary, I don't know what you call it, point of view or whatever, a contrary theory. That was not my point or my intention.
No, it actually just, yeah. Great. And well documented and well researched, man. Great work as usual.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Gummy, I realized I forgot to take a pee break in the middle of the show. I had something prepared, but we will play it at the end. But go ahead.
Sure thing. Big day for me today. I finally put on my big boy panties and I opened up my own merch shop. GummiChainsaw.com. I will put the link in chat. And if you use the promo code Chummy, CHUMMY, in all capital letters, you get 10% off everything in your cart. I got t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, mugs, some Dabbleverse designs, a lot like just other random stuff that I have that's just weird shit. Like I have like a version of like Dr. Phil as Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't know. You have to see it.
It's great stuff. It's great stuff. And we got a little video to play here at the end that we will advertise that. Yep. Sorry. I think I got too wrapped up. I was planning on taking a pee break and then playing that.
Yeah. And just one more thing. And then my YouTube at Gummi Chainsaw, having my weekly show, just horror gaming streams. This past Tuesday, I played at Tony's, which is we're working in a haunted pizzeria. So you're making pizzas while demons trying to kill you.
I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah. You'll learn that I know nothing about making a pizza. I'm really bad. Don't hire me to work in your restaurant, people. And then this week's episode is going to be just a bunch of indie bite-sized horror games. So it's going to be like 10 games that are like anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes to beat. So it's just a bunch of mini games that I'm putting. That'll be next day.
And I speak for everyone in the chat. Get well soon, man. Hope you feel better.
Much,
Get your rest.
Appreciate it.
Please.
I'll always make sure I'm here for you.
For me, please check out Hackride Studios on YouTube. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we have changed the unboxing schedule for football season. We're going to be doing Unboxing Eric on Tuesdays and Unboxing Riley Martin and Unboxing Bigfoot It Is on Wednesdays. Please also check out my appearance yesterday on the Uncle Rico show. It was a lot of fun. Had a little interaction with Lenny. He was great. And also my law LOL suit episodes with Kaylee. Thank you, sir. Gotten a lot of attention for those. Please go check those out. We have had a lot of fun making those. I had a busy week this week. I'm trying to remember everything I did, honestly. But anyway, yes, please go check it out. And also the occasional pop-up episode of Can't Come X. And now what everyone has been waiting for. That's what y'all came here for, folks.
It's the favorite part here. Plug-wise, I guess. Yeah, WGNN. CORNdiff.com has all the links. Go there. And then there's a bird feeder channel. Go to avnops.com. Do it. None of that shit matters because the in theta of your reactive mind is only a shadow on the bridge to true theta. Take care of yourselves and each other.